We're going.
We're going? We're live?
We
I don't
are.
see anything yet.
It'll come up in a minute. All right, everyone. Mexican Spec is defending me that I'm not going to have to take the body off to put the engine in the Bronco. I saw some questions. We're going to get to that. Let me do my intro. So, it is Tuesday night, as it is every week, and we are here as we are every week. I am Kim of Kim Fixes Things, and I'm here with Buff Del Campo, but you already know that because you clicked on the stream, and it is the name of the stream. So, we are here to entertain and facilitate your entertainment tonight, so thank you for coming. We will greet everyone like we usually do. We'll do our beverage section at some point. Make sure you have snacks. This is a Tuesday night thing. Like, this is good. This is like, remember when there used to be that TV show that you had to watch every week? This is it. This is the stream. You're going to be here. You're going to chit chat with everybody else who's doing stuff, or watch us respond and try and do things with the green screen behind us. And so make sure you have some snacks, something special. Go get your splurge. Spoil yourself. Get something you really like.
I discovered something about the green screen while you were getting ready.
Oh, okay.
I can go like this, and I know where the edge of the green screen is because it cuts my hand off.
You didn't know that?
Okay.
You didn't know that?
I just was
It's
playing.
up here, too. Look.
I was playing
Look.
around. Yeah. Or if I stand up, it cuts my head off, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello, Mexican Spec. Matthew. Oh, I'm already lost.
Oh, I'll scroll back to the start
to
so we can
see who all is there.
Everyone.
Yeah, Tim's there. Hello, a Mexican Spec, of course. I'm Drab. Who else? Matthew Ward. Matthew Ward's here.
Welcome to the
Good.
stream.
How you doing?
Iceman.
Iceman's here. Good evening,
Danny
Boyd. Aloha. Aloha.
You guys are here early. Thank you for coming.
And
Lester
Lester
LeSabre
LeSabre's
got
here.
here. All right. And so the great thing, not the great thing, but something special about our stream
Can't
is...
type because of barbecue ribs. Ugh.
Oh. That's okay. You can come in later. We'll catch you. We'll see you.
So go ahead.
A wonderful thing about the stream is as content creators, we would love to see you also be successful if you're trying to create content. So don't be afraid to self-promote a little bit. Tell us about what you're doing with your own projects, your own channel. How are things going? What's working? What's not? If Mexican Spec or another moderator is available, they'll even throw up a link to your channel so that we can all kind of know what everybody else is doing, because it's more fun with community. Honestly, making content for YouTube is incredibly difficult, especially if you're just like a one-person show or if you're just a small team. It is tough. And if we can motivate each other and guide each other along to do better, that makes it more fun. So we want to do that.
I already got a question.
Don't be shy.
Danny Boyd, never been there, but worked with a guy who was stationed there in the Navy, and he hated it. He said they're all on meth there. Where was this? Man.
Oh, meth. Oh, that's real bad. People with meth problems, they do desperate things. It's scary.
So,
I do need matching wheels. The problem that I don't have matching wheels is that these are 5-on-4, and the ones in the back are 5-on-4.5. And I want to upgrade the front spindles and brakes.
Hawaii. I was at Hickam several times. That was some of the best assignments I had. Of course, I guess it just depends on the crowd you hang out with. I'd go downtown almost every night. I worked day shift. And then as soon as I was off work, head to the barracks, which is right across the street, and take a shower, get on the bus, because that's the name of the local bus, and I rode the bus everywhere. We go down to Waikiki, and of course we were young guys, trying to pick up on officers' daughters and stuff. We were probably a bigger problem than the meth heads. And then we'd do stuff. We'd always go to places where there's entertainment or something. Yeah, it was a good place.
Iceman, the Mountain Dew is a serious thing. I like the Mortski Repair logo that is made from the Mountain Dew logo. I love that.
Put similar hubcaps. Okay. Yeah, we're looking for, so we're going to probably get some wheels. Those are the wheels off the Ranger. Those are wheels off the Ford, because put the Ford rear end under it, and that just the wheels and kind of slave tires we had. What you doing? You're already looking for something. Mortsky, what are you doing? Oh,
I'm just going to throw it up there since I said something about it. Oop. The Mortsky repair that looks like the old Mountain Dew logo.
oh, yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Visually, we like to use our green screen. It is a tool for fun to visually enhance the stream, because otherwise you're stuck looking at our ugly mugs for an hour or however long you're stuck here. Somebody asked a question earlier that I wanted to zip around to if we can. Out of a Ranger. Nice, Danny boy. A shift knob that looks like an 8-ball. I thought we were talking about meth heads, and when you said 8-ball, I was like, what? But I get it. Yeah.
Okay, beverages.
Cool. Beverages?
You said we were going to look at beverages.
No.
Those beverages.
We're gonna get to the beverages. I'm not ready. I'm drinking coffee first. Here's my coffee
I didn't know that.
in my mug that my ex-girlfriend gave me that says, "Thanks for always liking my posts." Thank you, Felina, for the mug. I love it. I enjoy it frequently. Someone asked where we were putting the motor that's coming out of the Ranger. Tim asked. Like to see what Kim is going to put that engine in. If you look on my channel, which is Kim Fixes Things, I have different content from the Buff Del Campo channel. And last year, I did a revival on a Bronco 2. Well, I got it to run and drive, but the block seems to be cracked or damaged in some way, because it just blows coolant out all the time, no matter what. And I know that the heads were okay because I inspected them thoroughly. I put new head gaskets in, so the head is the block is either warped or cracked in a way that is significant. And I came across this Ranger with a motor that was good and had some other parts that we could use, because we overlooked a lot of problems with that Bronco 2 just to get it going. But the expense of reviving it truly to use was going to be significant in brakes, in radiator, and some other parts that we're also going to be able to scavenge from this Ranger. So this Ranger makes the whole thing viable again. And the Bronco 2 will be back, probably not till after No Name Nationals.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got a lot of projects, so I don't know. We kind of jump around from one to another depending on what we have.
But when I originally worked on the Bronco, it was a shade tree project. I was out in the weeds working on that sucker. This year, this winter, we have a nice wood stove and we have a big open bay in the garage. So anything that we can pull in, we can work on in much greater comfort. We can get a lot more done and a lot less insanely difficult.
Okay, so some of you were here the last couple of nights because we were working in the shop. We just turned the live on in the shop just for the fun of it. But some of you were not. So I'm going to pop up a couple of pictures of...
Oh, yeah. For the last three nights.
This is what we were doing. Kim built this.
Oh, let me make us a little smaller.
Oops,
oh, that's the
wrong button.
There we are.
She just made this gantry, and then
out of some 2x6s.
I'm trying to find the scroll button here. There it is. 2x4s, 2x6s. Made this thing to lift the cab up and out of the way, so it'd be easier to get at the. Bell housing bolts and all that. I want to do work in a wood stove here. See, we have. Yeah, that wood stove is what's made our shop workable in the wintertime, because it's just too cold here. And we got a lot of trees that have been knocked down in windstorms and stuff, so we had plenty of wood. And it's oak, so it's wood that looks like that.
I mean, we're far enough in the country that firewood is honestly trash at some point in the season. Like in the middle of summer, people, or after a hurricane, people just want it gone. So if we have a truck, we can move it ourselves, and
So people
we're
were,
doing them a favor to get rid of it.
people were wondering how we were moving the chassis around because we took the rear end out and put it in the Dart. Well, that's a Chevy rear end of mine, and Kim just slid it under there and strapped it on with straps, and then we were able to roll it around, sort of.
We got it in the garage. And it seems like the skid loader, it might have been able to lift it, but it was pretty close.
I'm new to the Matthew says I'm new to the channels. Are you two a couple? A couple of goofballs. Yeah, we're
partners. We live
partners,
together. We work on things together. We look out for each other, which is big. I see couples that are at odds. That's not romantic. That's not nice. Like, we look out for each other.
We have our own space, but then we kind of take care of each other too.
Sometimes he has to check me for ticks, and I mean that literally.
Oh, she's got to get ticks off me again. Oh, this has become a problem.
I don't know how much more intimate you want to hear about. I don't think you want to even know.
I like the log cross member. Yeah, so there's like a log ram, and then there's a log cross member.
The rear end wants to roll because it's not mounted to the springs, so I just tied a strap around the log to hold up the pinion so that it wouldn't.
Oh, there's another picture of it. I just walked around trying to get pictures of it because last night we had the camera just come from one angle. But Kim had that thing built in about, I don't know, what, half hour. You pulled all this wood out of your van and put it together.
It took longer to go to the hardware store and get the materials than it did to slap it together.
I've been at war with ticks for 25 years now.
Oh, they're bad up here. I'll lay down in bed and one will crawl out of my hair onto my arm, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
My housemate and I are involved, but still pretty much family by now. Buff and Kim are the best. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next.
We like to be here, and we like that us collaborating makes things better.
I can't.
Because I can't be my own cameraman, and he, like I've been helping him do shorts, and it's better with a live camera person.
I don't know which ones I've missed now because I've looked at them all.
I don't know. Is there one showing how much room we made for pulling the bell housing apart?
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. There's the thing from the side, and there is. That's kind of the angle that was from the live last night. So she did all that so you get at the transmission bolts. Well, it's more than that. It's just the whole thing's got to come apart anyway because we kind of want to use a frame for something else.
We want to use the frame, so we know we want to take it apart. So if I'm taking the cab off anyways, I want to do that before I try and. You don't even know. Well, maybe you do. Have you ever tried to take exhaust manifold bolts that haven't been moved since 1988 apart?
Buff technically riding the short bus. Who the heck? Somebody's calling me right now. It's Mr. Nonprofit.
Oh,
we are going to get rid of him.
Buff riding the short bus? I don't know what that means, Iceman. I don't know.
All all right. Okay, so
we all are okay. Mexican spec.
So then
That's
we're going to go to the next one. There's where you can get at the bell housing bolts. Okay. And I said to Kim last night, "Are you able to get the bolts on the bell housing?" She goes, "Oh, I already got it. They're already loose." And I said, "Oh, you loosened them?" And she goes, "No, they were already loose." It's like they were driving around with them loose. I guess better than the sum of two individuals. Profit, not profit.
Right. He's putting out shorts every day.
I got a short up
when
today.
we do this, where we have the green screen and stuff like that, trying to do this by yourself, it's just unmanageable. So the live, it just it's so much better because we've got two people. So down here, that manifold, that bolt right there in the manifold.
What, the one that's
that goes to the exhaust? See,
I can't make my
That's okay.
My
let me
cursor go.
Let me make a coherent thought because I find myself not even finishing my own sentences. I don't want to just whack the exhaust off because I need exhaust on the other vehicle. So I want it to be able to be serviceable and come back apart, but those bolts are from 1988, and I don't know if you've ever taken bolts apart that have been sitting around that long. Even here in the South where it's not too rusty, they are rusty. The heads of the bolts are mostly rotted off. I don't want them to bust off in the manifold. I don't want to whack them off with a sawzall, so I really got to work at them and take my time. And trying to do that laying underneath the truck is infinitely more difficult than having the cab off and having it right there in my lap.
Iceman says tons of engine work on the newer Super Duty Fords have to remove the cab. Yes, out there when I was in Arizona,
heard about that.
We had two Ford F450 dually trucks, and both of them had to have the cabs pulled off. And one of them, it was 6 times we had the cab pulled off for, I think every one of them was an fuel oil cooler, or some kind of a cooler like that. And it was done on warranty 5 of the times, and then we had to pay for it the 6th time, and it was over $9,000 labor to pull that cab off and put it back on to change an oil cooler. And you know what we did? That was the end of that. We got we replaced them with Ram pickups with diesels, with the Cummins diesel. I did my cab swap. I found 2 missing bell housing bolts. The other 4 were loose. Wow. The transmission bolts were loose too. When I replaced and tightened all my bolts, my clutch chatter when I replaced and tightened, really? Clutch chatter. Oh, it went away. Clutch chatter went away. Oh yeah, so they didn't do it right to begin with. And I'm not opposed to putting a little blue Loctite on everything, because then stuff doesn't back out if you torque it right. Can you hacksaw the bolts where you can get pliers the other end?
I have a feeling that I'm going to need to do that on the one that's closer to the engine, because I really can't get it. I mean, on the other side of the engine, I already got one out without damaging it at all. And this one I've already got to move. But what I did was I used a saw and I cut a relief in the cast iron manifolds so that it would be looser on that bolt, and that allows it to turn. But most of the head of the bolt is gone, so I may cut it off. But yes, using pliers and a hacksaw to get it in there, that will be good, because then it's easier to extract a cut off bolt than a broken off bolt. So,
good evening, Gary Stafford, Turbo Tom. Good to see you here.
See, if I was just lopping this off for somebody else or to just put in stock, then I wouldn't bother to do it this way. But I know future Kim, is the person who is going to be stuck resolving any problems that I create. So I'm taking more time to do it in a way that sets me up for future success. And I don't really like the YouTube content where people mess stuff up and then moan and groan later on when they've created problems for themselves. It's like, you made this problem. Why should I feel? I feel nothing for you when you.
Although I don't mind it when you make a mistake, and you show the mistake and how you got through it. That's
and some things are unavoidable, and sometimes you have to weigh, like, well, is it worth putting in the effort now or just dealing with it later? Like, I could just buy replacement manifolds and do the whole thing, but I kind of think I don't need to do that.
So now, the rest of this part of this project, you went over this last night on the live.
I did talk about it a little bit.
There's people here now that were not there then. You see this, what is the thing? The Bronco is a couple years older, so it has a carburetor on top of a 2.8. Well, this is a 2.9 with fuel injection, and it's got this fuel injection manifold, and she didn't really want to
retrofitting all the monstrosity of wires. And if it was not, like, if it was new, but it's a 1988 vehicle, the wiring harness is all green at the connections. It was working. I mean, it was a running vehicle, but when you start taking it apart, stuff's just falling apart. And like, eventually the big round harness that goes from the computer through the firewall, I just cut it off. I don't want to have to retrofit that into an older vehicle that didn't even match to. Like the harnesses were different and everything. We're going to make this into, we're going to use this part of the manifold. We're going to put a block off plate for the throttle, and then we're going to put a carburetor on top of it.
She's going to machine that off and put a plate on there.
We're going to make that into a tunnel ramp.
It's going to be like a tunnel ramp.
Yep. That is our plan.
So
I have a distributor that will run instead of the computer. It's what's Ford's DuraSpark. I have a DuraSpark distributor that will drop in it. Now I'm going to have to make some changes to the DuraSpark distributor because the 2.8 runs in one direction because it has gears. And the 2.9, the distributor runs in the opposite direction because it has a belt.
Belt or a chain? Wait a minute.
A chain.
It's a chain. Okay, so it's...
But the cam runs in the opposite direction.
I didn't know that.
So...
Ooh, okay. I wonder if the gears... Okay, we're going to have to...
The gears are the same.
Put a blower on it.
That could happen eventually.
We got a turbo sitting in the cabin.
The 2.8 manifold will not fit a 2.9 because it was a pretty major redesign when they went from the gears to the chain. The cam runs in the opposite direction, and the valves change. The intake and exhaust valve ordering changes, so the exhaust manifolds don't interchange, and the intake it doesn't interchange.
Well, last night I spent twin one barrel. You know, when we first started talking about that, I go, yes, stick a 2 barrel in the middle of it. And I'm looking at that, and it's like that air is going to have to make, a fuel charge is going to have to make abrupt changes to directions. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, let's just put 3 carburetors on that thing and progressive,
Oh, would that be neat?
I thought I told you that. Maybe I was just thinking.
I was really focused on what I was
Okay, so
doing.
last night that kind of came up during the live.
So I rewatched some of the live because I don't really get to see what it looks like. I'm back.
Oh,
there
you're
working
underneath.
and
You're
he's
underneath
talking.
the truck. You're underneath.
So
the
I
truck.
was rewatching some of that live to see if there was anything that was worthy of making a short out of, and I didn't see it. But you guys who are watching, you're telling me exactly how to lift that cab, and I'm just completely ignoring it. Completely. You guys were so right. You're like, hook a strap to the front of the cab. It's front heavy, Kim. And I'm like, pushing. What a mess.
So Colleen's here.
You guys are right.
Mexican Specs asked the same question twice, so I want to get to it before he scrolls up any higher. Are the manifolds the same on the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive? And I think he's talking about the exhaust manifolds.
The exhaust manifolds are the same, but the engines are different.
Yeah, because one's a 2.8, one's a 2.9. Years ago, when all these engines were around, I never even noticed that the 2.9 was so much different. Because the Pintos all had 2.8s in them, and I just never noticed it, because I didn't have, yikes, a dual quad. Yeah, can you imagine 2 4-barrels on that? I think that might be over-carbureted.
Yeah.
Get some little tiny 4-barrels.
Mexican Spec, I think the answer is yes, but I'm not sure. We're going to find out. Because, I'm looking at it, and it looks okay, but I don't have any definitive answers, and not too many people do this swap.
The 3 carbs, you could use, of course, we'd have to go get some bases and go, these carbs used to be what were those things called? Stromberg 97s. We used to use them on the old Y-block Fords. You put 3 of them on there, but those things, we'd go to the junkyard and they're $2 a piece. Now they're probably $200 a piece and hard to find.
You can get like the carburetor that I just put on the Dart. You can get one of those for $70. So we could get 3 of those.
Oh, those are a small base, aren't they? What do they got? 4 bolts or 3 bolts? They got 4 bolts.
2 bolts.
They got 2 bolts?
They do.
Okay. Hot Rod Guy Garage. Hello. 6% recycled. And, of course, Colleen. I think we already noticed Colleen. I did. I'm not sure if I said hello to Colleen.
The problem with using a side draft on the front is that you're going to be really rich on the front 2 cylinders and comparatively lean on the rear. You know what I mean? It's...
Repop Weber. Oh,
I don't
geez.
know. I mean, a
Think about
slant
it, Kim.
six
They have
is
to make
lean on
room.
the outside, rich on the inside. Maybe it would run okay.
Okay, think about it, Kim. They have to make room for the front differential, so the output might be different on the exhaust manifold on the four-wheel drive. Don't know.
No.
They're different or the same? I mean, you're sure they're the same? You don't know.
Both vehicles, the driver's side exhaust manifold exits and goes immediately under the engine so that the passenger side exhaust, because the drive shaft for the four-wheel drive is on the driver's side. So for both vehicles it does do a quick loop underneath the motor. So
So I'm gonna move
it's
on.
very similar.
I'm gonna move on here. What is this one? This shows this just I just walked around taking a bunch of pictures quickly. It's basically the same thing a little further forward. But you can see where the cab ended up. We kind of scooted the cab back and scooted the frame forward. And, well, she put a strap on the back of the frame and the front on the back of the cab and on the back of the frame and just sucked the cab back. So got out of the way and we put some stands and then put some wood underneath the cab between the cab and the frame so it wouldn't fall down. And then I put the jack under there like another safety because she's gonna have her hands in there.
A repop Weber would definitely be the easier way to get to carburation, but I'm not sure what the quality of fuel disbursement would be like. It might be okay.
Got a little sketchy lifting the cab up. A little slip now and then. I was glad Kim survived. You know, during all that, we had jacks under it. We had the straps on that A-frame contraption. And if it dropped, it wasn't going to drop very far. But yeah, I was nervous too.
Yeah, it was time to stop and figure out a better plan.
Yeah.
We were like, ooh, that. What happened is the cab got too far to one side because of the way that the cab mounts are real high on the frame, and it was sliding. It was like, yeah. Oh,
Dougster's here.
Welcome to the street.
We have no fear. Dougster's here. Dougster, you got your fans running. Dougster got these great sounding fans in his shop to cool the place off. And I used to work in a nuclear power plant, and they always had all these fans running. His shop sounds exactly like the inside of a nuclear power plant. Ooh, these massive fans running. It sounds so good. Oh man, reminds me of good old times. Get to see you here. It doesn't have to drop far above. Yeah, I was nervous too. That's why one of the reasons I had that jack under there is if the thing started to slip, at least I could jack it back up and get it off of her quickly. I was worried about her.
Gonna do some sketchy. Do-da, do-da. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da-do-da-day. You're right, Doug. It was that. You know what though? The wood gantry was very solid. Once we put some weight on it, and it seated itself on a garage. It was. I felt confident pushing on it.
People were worried about the gantry spreading out like this. She had a spreader bar across the bottom, another 2x4 there. Those couldn't walk. It could not walk out like this.
We'd have had to do something really stupid to.
Well, I'm glad you built that thing because we could unscrew that and put it up against a wall. It'd be out of the way. And if we need something like that again, we just screw it back together, you know.
Well, I was going to use it for the shed out back.
Okay, well, you know what?
2x6s
I already want to use it for something, to put the Studebaker body on whatever frame we put the Studebaker body on. Because we got to lift the Studebaker body off the Studebaker frame and roll it out from under it and decide what we're going to do. I'm still not opposed to rebuilding the front end on the Studebaker, although I don't, you know, that's 1930s technology.
When I'm looking at
the
truck frame, it has an arch for the front wheels, and then it goes down for the floor pan, but then it goes up for the bench seat, and then it goes up for the bed again. And I don't know if that's going to work for the Studebaker.
It's a lot of screwing. Well, you got air, you know, power gun. It's going to come apart pretty quickly.
What?
Oh, I was talking about taking the A-frames apart, putting it against the wall, and then putting it back up.
Oh yeah, they come apart real fast.
He says that's a lot of screwing around, but she was using.
We had that thing together in half an hour.
She did that. You know, it'd be kind of fun to look at that live and see how long it actually took. It seemed like it was together in no time.
If you time it
and you cut all the wood and engineered it all in your head.
There wasn't a lot of cutting even.
If we take that apart, you already know how it goes. You just put numbers. Assembled by number.
Don't even need
1 and 1
numbers.
and 2 by 2. Yeah, but if
It's
you're not
two
there, I'll need the.
A-frames and a couple of cross
If you're not
beams.
there, I'll need the numbers. So, uh, let's see here. What else? You can get the money together for the first item. What is this? You can get the money for. This is something that they're
Mexican
working.
spec
They're working on selling cars.
Is trying to sell Mexican cars, and
Oops.
it is the equivalent of exporting the labor for a classic car restoration. You can buy a pre-restored Mexican car. If you see something that you like and you have faith in, check out Mexican Spec. He's on Instagram and YouTube now, and he facilitates the import of classic cars from Mexico to the United States. He's a trusted friend of our community. He is in Tony. Is he a moderator for Tony as well?
He's a moderator for Tony.
He's not like some complete stranger. We know and we've seen that he does great work with working with people. And so then he shows all these vehicles that he has access to.
I've done business with him. He sends me my stuff, and it's always tracking numbers and everything.
He's a reputable business person, and he wants to work with people to facilitate the import of these vehicles that have been restored or are in good restorable condition from Mexico and to the United States.
Are you reading all this nonsense?
And he moderates for us, and we appreciate that very much. And we want to see him be successful. We are not in the market for a bunch of restored cars because we restore cars. So,
Kim, we're going to miss all this.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I've said what I need to say.
Well, it's now decided. Yeah, we missed it.
Oh, he's putting a big stash on the shop fan?
Screw. Yeah, there. It's scroll back, not screw back there. Well, it's now decided. I'm making Fan Del Campo a big stash on the shop fan. We'll make a bid when it's done. Okay, now scroll.
Is it
up.
going to spin?
Scroll. Oh, so the stash goes around like this. Okay, that would be really fast. Okay, so what's next here? Just look around. Sell fast. So, okay, that's about Mexican Specs cars. What you were talking about. Make it a Buff Del Campo. That's why I'm laughing at some of this stuff while you're going on about Mexican Spec. This car, okay. Are you going to take the monkey bike back to No Name Nationals? You see Buff do a burnout. I'm not going to do a burnout. You want to watch me fall down?
I don't think they do the monkey bike burnout things anymore. I think that was the first year, and then they kind of...
I got a quote to paint a fender and 2 bumpers on a 2000 Dodge Ram Charger for 7,000 pesos. Okay, you're going to have to quickly change that into dollars. That's a good price. 2 coats of color and 3 coats of clear. You know, I when I lived in Yuma, there were a lot of totaled cars that went into Mexico, went through body shops, came back in the U.S., still registered in the U.S., and man, the work on those cars was pretty good. I just subscribed to Mexican Spec. Adam Culbertson. Good evening. Thank you very much, Kim. I have 3 deals I'm working on. Well, good. And it looked like I saw it, scrolled way back. I did see it. That there was somebody that was going to maybe buy several cars from you and then market them here in the U.S. That'd be pretty cool. What was I looking at when just before we went on? I was looking at a Mexican Spec car on. Oh, I know it. It was a Dodge Dart that has the Dodge Darts in Mexico on the 2 doors. They had these big long tops that went way back. These big blades, and it looks so good. And that's not a.
It was a Mexican Dart.
Never in the U.S. It's a Mexican Spec Dart. Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Oh, speaking of Mexican.
What's that? Oh, $388 for 7. How many pesos? Yeah, that's a good deal for all that paint work. Yeah. Burger King meal is 125 pesos. Man, I just don't deal enough with pesos dollar conversions. Anything I bought from Mexican Spec, I paid in dollars. He's just giving me dollar quotes, and I pay in dollars. Hi, Bub. And Kim. Oh, you need an opener.
It's beverage time. If you have not cracked your.
You know what you open with? You open your bottle with a 5/8 wrench.
That won't work to open a bottle.
It will if you turn it over to this end.
Oh, fancy.
And it's
Ooh, where'd you get that from?
5/8 wrench with a bottle opener.
Oh, that came from Harbor Freight.
That's something they have at Harbor
Okay,
Freight
and then
here.
this beverage is Warritos, and I believe that
Warritos.
is a Mexican-themed beverage.
Yeah, what is that, Mexican Spec? What is
It's
that?
orange Warritos. I like an orange beverage now and then. It's an
the
orange fizzy soda.
Plum Crazy Dart. That's the one I looked at.
There's something special about popping a good old-fashioned metal cap of a nice glass bottle. It just feels more visceral. It's good.
With a 5/8 wrench. You know, I sent a suggestion to them that they should have a full set of these, like every size in metric, because all they have is a 5/8 bottle opener, and I just think it'd be...
They should sell
That's
those.
something I'd love to have in my toolbox, is a full set of those.
Silly. Like we need
Oh,
more stuff
man.
stuffed in the
I love
toolbox.
tools, especially weird stuff. Burger King closed both locations here, and I'm not sad to see that happen. They serve Pepsi. Oh, Pepsi's okay. But I'll prefer Coke products. And then you know what I drink? The generic ones, because they're 2-liter bottles for $1, you know.
It is a twist-off bottle, but we made it work. And
It
thank you
is?
for helping me
That's
with
not
my
a-
pronunciation.
That's not a twist off.
No,
No, it's not a twist off.
This
you try to
particular one is
you
not
try
a
to do
twist-off.
this with a twist off, you're gonna have trouble.
it's a very visceral experience to be able to, do it like that. And thank you for the pronunciation. I will remember Jarritos instead of Warritos. And
Jarritos.
pineapple flavor. That does sound good. Maybe I'll try that next time.
Oh, what's that one? Oh, that's Mandarin.
And it's more expensive than just buying a big jar of orange pop, but I'm worth it.
5/8.
Once a week, I can splurge.
Gee, what you need. Plumbing comes up. 5/8. Oh, that's for plumbing. I don't know. Your plumber use 5/8 a lot in plumbing.
Yeah,
Do you?
yeah.
So you use
But
channel locks.
but rarely can you use a box wrench because
Oh,
usually you're
yeah.
on a tube. So
Yes,
that's
yeah.
kind of a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. They had these up front on a peg, and they weren't very expensive. And I saw that, and I got to have that. And then I bought my son Matt. I bought him one, and has it in his kitchen now. He opens bottles with it. I'm a hardcore Pepsi guy, all Pepsi all the time. How about the large? This is Gary Stafford. How about the large flat blade screwdriver used to spread mayo on your? Oh yeah, I probably did that before. Does that sound like me? Does that sound like something I do? Oh man.
The mayo part is definitely. He puts mayo, and we buy mayo by the case.
Does it come in 55-gallon drums? At my other shop, this shop's really close to the house, so I can walk over here. My other shop, the one in Ohio, was like 12 miles away or something, and the shop was out in the country. So, if I needed a spoon, I needed to eat something, I had a wood stove there as well. I'd heat stuff on top of the wood stove, and then go over to the sheet metal, and I'd cut out a spoon and hammer it like a spoon a little bit, deburr. I'd eat with that. I had several of those things roaming around the shop. Piece of 20 thousandths aluminum made into a spoon. Oh yeah, shop stuff. I should do a short sometime and take a piece of sheet metal and put a piece of fish on it and take my torch and cook the fish. You know who did that? Who's the guy that Gary will know this answer? Who's the guy that built the Spirit of St. Louis? He was in that when they walked in the shop. He was in there cooking fish with a acetylene torch and a piece of aluminum sheet metal. That was in the movie anyway. Let's see here. If you were here, you would not drink it. The taste is very different. It's a lot cheaper than Coke, but they always lag behind on sales. Which is that? I don't know. Pepsi. Oh, Pepsi. And I've just gotten cheap because I retired. I don't have a lot of money. So I just buy the generic stuff and I get used to it. After cooking the hot dog on an electric cooker. Oh yes. I did a video about that right after the No Name Nationals. I put it out. Dallas, who's the president of the AHRA, he needed some way to cook, and I gave him a hot dog cooker, which is two nails sticking up with a cord you plug in. You stick the hot dog on there, and you plug it in, and about 25 seconds later, the hot dog's smoking hot because it's shorting out between the two nails. And I think he used it. This Mexican spec. I hope to leave on Thursday to Mexico City to bring back a 2000 Ram Charger.
Why are you not documenting your journeys with a videographer?
Yeah.
Log.
Yeah, out the windshield.
Make it real, Mexican spec. I wish he was able to put himself on camera. I don't know why.
Although he's putting his voice on, I noticed that. I watched a video of his, and his voice was on there, so that's good.
Is it his voice?
Oh, I think it is. It's a
Congratulations, Mexican spec. I think it's good.
Now I feel like redneck. I used a putty knife for my mail out in the garage. Yeah, of course. What else are you gonna use?
Are you saying I'm a redneck?
I believe you mix. My old co-worker Gloria worked in a Mexican grocery store, and she had a crush on me. She knew I liked Pepsi. She would bring me a glass bottle of Mexican Pepsi. They tasted funny. Oh yeah, because they got real sugar in them. Yeah, Jimmy Stewart played the part on the movie, and yeah, it was Spirit of St. Louis. But I'm trying to think of who built that. Who built the airplane? Gary. I can't pull names out of my head anymore. I really want sweetened soda anymore. Yeah, I wish I could get it without any sweetener in it, but everybody goes, you wouldn't like that, it's bitter. Well, so is coffee, and I drink coffee without sugar in it. But not very often, but I do it. Let's see here. Mexico Funny is a good description for it. I tried to freeze Pepsi like I do Coke, and it has almost no carbonation, so a solid piece of ice. You know, something you said, Mexican Spec, earlier was you freeze water and you're drinking it because it melts as you're drinking it. You know, when I worked in Yuma, that's what I did. I'd carry a cooler, and I had all these frozen bottles of water in there. And then those would go away pretty quickly. And then the test officer always had a big ice water thing back there, and I'd just refill them over and over. Mexican Ram Chargers are cool. You want the Coney Island hot dog steamer. A fuse block. I had a friend that made a hot dog cooker. He did it with welding rods about this long. Put a whole pack of hot dogs on it, and it popped the circuit breaker in the shop. So you can't do that. It draws too much current.
You know what you should do is we should do it with the welder. So instead of voltage, it's amperage that heats them.
Oh, well, you want to take the welder and put hot dogs on it? You know, when I was in England...
Well, you just clamp the welder on the rods.
When I was in England, everything's 220. I was going to make a hot dog cooker there, but I decided, you know, as a guest and in their shop, and I probably shouldn't make a hot dog cooker in England.
Because what does the voltage out of those welders? What voltage is it running at? It's high amperage, not high voltage, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We will have to go. Well, what were you doing when we were recharging those batteries? I think we had 40 volts on the welder at the high end. And that was a stick welder, and we cranked it up, and you know how well that worked? Dead batteries that no longer worked. Uncle Tony did this, so we did it, and we did it down there in his shop with his welder, and I think that battery was running in the Dart up to like a year ago, you know?
I don't think we should do it, though. Those batteries didn't last very well. And
you know what? They didn't. They were dead, and then they lasted for like a year after that.
I think the moral of the story is don't let your battery go dead. Always keep your battery charged, because if you let it go dead, it will malfunction. Because you'll lose the cells that are worse. Anyways.
He's talking about the whole trip back. Scroll. It's like going so fast I can't do it.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm talking. I should stop.
Okay, I plan on it, Kim. My wife is in charge of that. I usually do a video when I buy them to show them, but not the whole trip back. You know, if you video a lot of the trip back and then you edit it later, you can edit out little sections of that trip and do videos that just show little parts of Mexico that people in the U.S. and in Canada rarely get to see those kind of places. That would be really cool stuff. It might not be automotive, but it sort of is, because you're on a drive trip in country that we don't get to ride around in. Hot commodity. I'm selling one to a guy in New Jersey that was a special order 5.9 4-speed manual. You know, that's another thing. You have a lot of A lot of manual transmission cars there. Oh yeah, Ryan Aircraft Company in San Diego. That's right. He walked into Ryan Aircraft Company, and the guy was standing there with a acetylene torch cooking fish on a piece of sheet metal with holding it with a pair of pliers. I always wanted to do that. I've cooked other weird stuff though. I have to here, Buff. It's so hot in my room to keep me cool and replaces the water. So, man, you know, can you take like big bottles and ice them up and then blow the fan? Just have fan blowing past the bottles. I wonder if that'd cool a room off. Probably slightly. I get a bit of blowback on the second gen Ford. Why did I say Ford? On the second gen Dodge Facebook groups on the Ram Chargers. People like the front but not the back. Oh, that's weird. Benjamin Franklin. Okay, scroll. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, we got way away from us. Okay, you have to shorten the gas tank to make the 4x4. It's not a plug and play. It's kind of unfortunate. Next, go put Dart sport noses on their dusters. You know, I don't mind. I like all the mix and match stuff, especially the AMC stuff. All the mix and match stuff on there too. It's pretty cool. That's amazing. And the Fords, the Fairmonts all had the Mercury noses on them. That looks pretty good. The Futura. It's more like a Futura nose, or maybe it's like a. What was the Mercury? Geez, Gary Stafford got a one of those Mercury wagons from me. Mexican spec. What's that thing called? The Mercury version. Anyway, they have those noses on them, and Gary got a Mercury wagon from me that looks like a Fairmont. And I pulled a V8 out of it, and it was just a dead car sitting there. And then I had a Pinto 2.3 and a 4-speed, and I dropped it in that Mercury wagon. And Gary and his wife drove that around for years with a Pinto engine and a 4-speed in it. I think it was a pretty good car for him. Quit job and cancel my order. I don't know what that's about. Google Pacho Aranya. On the way from here to the border on the right side. I don't know what that's about.
I'll check it out.
Okay. I'm getting way behind on the chat. I'm sorry, people.
Yeah, you guys are going.
I can't keep up with it. And there's stuff I want to comment on, but it's already gone. Spirit of St. Louis.
Thanks
that was
everyone
a good movie.
for being here.
Yeah, that's the movie I'm talking about, where they were cooking on, or the guy was cooking on the sheet metal. Oh yeah, and of course, yeah, it was a great movie. And the part about the movie that it's the engineering stuff and the scientific stuff. There was a fly flying around in the airplane, and he was so concerned with weight, he didn't know if that weight of that fly made a difference. And it's flying around. Well, when it's setting on something, it makes a difference. But when it's flying around, does that add to the weight? It's a pretty interesting thing to think about. Stop me if I liked it. Otherwise, the Fairmonts have the Mercury grill, but the Ford turn signals, the Mercury turn signals were clear. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Yeah, Zephyr. Yeah, it was a Zephyr wagon. It was a light blue Zephyr wagon. I think about half of them were light blue. And Mexican Spec once in a while has a light blue Fairmont with a Zephyr nose on it. I think the Zephyr nose looks way better. And I had a Fairmont, and I had a Futura, and the Futura has kind of like a Zephyr nose on it. You want a Duster? Hopefully I can find you in early 70 or 1671. Maybe that's a 1971 model. They have the name Valiant across the back in big block letters. Got us through till we could afford to replace it. Yeah, I remember, and then somebody crashed into it, I think, Gary, I think somebody hit that car. Just kind of sad. Jimmy Stewart is my cousin. Wait a minute. There's an airport in Pennsylvania. Where's that? Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You know where that is? Kim?
I know where Indiana is.
Okay, there's an airport there. Jimmy Stewart Airport. And I think that's where he grew up. And I've been into that airport many, many times. I pass that every time I go to the border. I caught up.
The picture that I have up in our green screen he's talking about. It's called Vocho.
Oh, I've seen that picture. I didn't know where that was.
I guess it's
Does it work?
Yes.
That's a Super Beetle, isn't it? I don't know. I can't see it that well. Yep, T-boned it. That's what I thought. Somebody whacked into you in an intersection. That was a pretty nice car for a dead car sitting there that I bought it as a parts car, and then Gary and his family drove it around for a couple of years. And Gary had 4 kids, so the station wagon was the right car. Indiana's about 20 minutes east of what is the name of that?
Katanning.
Katanning. She's a Pennsylvanian, so she knows.
I am.
So, yeah, Indiana, that's, when you're a small plane, you start picking out where all the small airports are that are friendly to small planes. You don't go flying into LAX or JFK or something. So, it's just that was one of those nice airports we could always go. Ponomaniacs here, hello. Jimmy Stewart was in that movie, The Flight of the Phoenix. Oh, yeah, The Flight of the Phoenix. There's another movie I saw when I was young. Oh, yeah, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Yeah, Gary knows. Gary was a light plane pilot, too. So, and so was his father was the one that got me started. So I know they know all the small airports all over the place. And Gary's father used to go into some real small airports out. One that was out in the middle of nowhere, and they'd be the only ones camping out there next to their airplane. That thing, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Chores Pal Nuevo. I don't know. Arachnidos. Like a spider, arachnid.
Thank you, everyone, for all your comments and for just being here in general. It's nice to have something. This is something that we look forward to every week. And the live streams out in the shop are a really different thing. But we're liking doing that. I think we may do that more often. But that's not
Do you have your
everybody's.
vice grip hands?
I think that the shop streams are
You're
they're
right.
going to appeal to different people.
That's a Super Beetle. Has the wide fenders and the curved windshield. Sure is. Menachie Meadows, up in the Sierras. Yeah, that was a place that I remember Stafford's when I was a kid, and I guess it was quite a place. I never went out there. Tiny airport in Ashland, Wisconsin, is also called JFK because he visited there, and they have pictures of his visit on the wall. Pretty cool. Ashland, Wisconsin. I'll have to look at that. Dr. Go, how you doing? Guns and Gears, how you doing?
Welcome to the stream.
See, now
Glad you made it.
I forgot to do the beverage thing. I'm supposed to show the beverage I'm drinking, which is, I got to turn it the right way. It's another tea, Georgia. It's what I've been drinking for the last few days. Georgia peach iced tea. Diet iced tea.
Try again.
What?
We were really little. There's no way anybody could have seen that.
Oh, now it's big. Yeah, Lipton Diet Georgia Peach. Okay, not a sponsor.
I bought that and I never even really asked if you liked that.
It's good. Hey, Kim Possible and Buff. Yeah, Dr. Go.
Welcome to stream, Dr. Go.
She makes everything possible. Station identification. Station identification.
I do not make everything possible, but I make things that seem difficult less difficult.
Yeah, let's see. What else is going on? I should bring up more pictures.
Lady Dougster has a Super Beetle. Did we ever see that on your channel? I don't ever remember seeing a picture of a Super Beetle. I like beetles and bugs. I've owned 2 in my life. It's been quite a while. But I wouldn't want to drive one very much.
I want to bring this picture up because you like the sculptor, whatever you want to call it, on the side of the 1-year 66 Dart that had that sculptor on the side. So I tried to get a picture of it today.
I don't prefer the squareness of the headlight.
But you
buckets,
like that. You like that.
But I love the fender lines.
That fender, that sculpture on the side.
The lines is wonderful. Right, and I respect the longevity of the design. Like that was just on and on and on and on.
Yeah, Kim finds solutions.
Damn right.
You
Cheap
know,
ones too,
it
because
used to
we ain't
be.
spending money.
I spent a career being the guy that would solve problems. You know, something had happened, man, I was the one that had to be in the middle of it. And I was saying last night, sitting there, I'm just talking on the live, and Kim's finding all the solutions to everything. And I'm like, it's kind of nice somebody else doing this now, And now I'm getting to rely on her. I'll go like, how do you want to solve this problem? I got ideas, but I just like, she always has good ones. So it's like, have her figure it out. And she'll jump right in there like that gantry last night. I wouldn't have built that, but she had it together like in no time. There's a gantry in the
Yeah, it
shop.
wasn't expensive, and the materials will get used for other things. Like those, it's not like I can't use 2x6s for things. We have that shed beside the garage, and the butt end of the car that's sitting in there is kind of hanging out. It needs to be about 8 foot deeper. So those 2x6s will go to good use. So, but they worked us through this particular problem. We want to we're not going to rebuild it back into a Ranger. So we want that frame for future projects. We want to get the Ranger body off of it.
Let's see here. Several things. Pretty sure Brazil still can't get enough of them. I think she's talking about the Volkswagens. Okay, here we go. Too much. I want to make a comment on that. Oh, and it's scrolling fast. Put some really nice cars on Facebook, even 70. Okay. Okay, and then Gary Stafford says, I have to find solutions working in R&D. Yeah, he's an R&D guy, works on robotics. And he's, like the engineers that design stuff, and Gary builds the first, I think he's the guy that builds the first item, and then works with the engineers and gets all the little problems worked out and whatever they're building for their customers. How do you go into Mexican spec stuff? Do you pull up Instagram on there, or what do you do? Can you pull up Instagram?
Yeah.
And he has, like, a few days ago, he put up a Brasilia, which is with an S, like they spell it in Brazil. And it's basically a beetle, but it's their body, and it's so cool. I'm looking over there at her stuff. I don't know where it is. Okay, you're gonna have to scroll down through there. There's that plum crazy dart we were talking about,
Yeah,
the
pretty
long top,
fancy.
and then scroll down a little further. I don't know how far down it is. It's
What are we
off.
looking
It's
for?
all the way to the right, I think. Just scroll a little further. Right there. Up too far. That orange car off to the right. Oh, now you gotta log in to look at it. Are you kidding me?
You didn't used to have to.
Well, maybe you were logged in and you didn't know it. Oh, that's annoying.
Okay, we can't show this. Let me get through this. Talk about something else for 5 seconds. Read the chat.
Okay. We're gonna try to get that. The rubber's a bitch. Builds the prototypes and fixes what the engineers break. Oh man, that's why I always said I was a practical engineer, because I not only flew the airplanes and built all the fixtures, or not all, but I built a lot of fixtures and first time runs on things, and I was in the shop as much as I was up there with working on CAD. So I built a lot of the prototypes. That angle makes the dart resemble a falcon. Oh, that picture right there, it does. That's those little dished out sections on the sculpture, whatever you call them, on the side of the car, and Kim kind of likes that. I've always known they were there, but I never really paid attention till they were the first. It's the only year. I noticed something else about that car.
I'm sorry, Mexican Spec. It's broken. I cannot do it right now. Not during the stream.
Okay.
It'll be too distracting.
Okay, well, maybe you can
I
bring
don't
up.
know.
Okay, instead of bringing up bring up Volkswagen Brasilia, which is spelled with an S instead of a Z. Just go to images. Okay, don't go to images.
BRAS.
ASIL. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's one. I don't care what color it is. Yeah. Then you Got to bring it over there. Scallops. That's what they're called. Scallops.
The little onions?
No, not the ones you eat. The things going down the side of the dart. Those little indentations you like. I don't like the end to touch my soldering iron. Yeah. Gary solders under a microscope. I can't believe anybody can even do that. Okay, this is a Mexican spec hat. There's one listed on his site right now that we can't get at. Is the Volkswagen Brasilia, made in Brazil, and they've got one up in Mexico for sale. Man, well, that would be the thing to have here. And it's got the, what is it, a 1600 engine? It's in the back. So what? There's a big frunk. There's a big trunk up front. I don't know. I think, and the dash on that. See if you see it. The dash on it's so much better than the Beetle. It's like, man, I like that car. And he's got one. He's got one listed right now. Yeah, look at that. I think that looks better than a Beetle. I guess it is. It is a Beetle, sorta. It's like the one off to the right. It's kind of like a Beetle, but it's way better. And it's got a package tray under it. I don't know. I'd much rather have that than a Beetle. In fact, I kind of like that thing. You know. So Mexican Spec, you going to tell us about the Brasilia?
We are not sponsored by Mexican.
No,
Spec. He is part of our community, and it's interesting because we talk about cars, and he imports cars. So
here's
the two things are collaborative.
So here's an interesting car that we don't get to see in the U.S., and he probably doesn't get to see many of them in Mexico because it comes from Brazil. But he's got one, so it's pretty interesting to talk about. Yeah, it's a Type 1. Okay, so it's like a Beetle engine. Look at that. Is that cool or what? I think that's so much better than a Beetle.
Yeah. I don't like the Volkswagens. They have a funny...
Oh, they sound like chains dragging on the ground.
They're a little bit rough. I mean, they were super cool. And when I was a kid, I thought they were the greatest thing. But I don't... I prefer a muscle car or a luxury car at this point in my life.
Gary's saying to me, find a Matador. So, I don't know, you're going to have to bring up my picture again.
Okay.
Yeah, Gary, remember this? Oh, man. I bought a new one in 1974. Gary was around then. I just saw a beat-up Matador coupe. I didn't save it, though. Oh, man, that Matador you have that's not called a Matador, that, I really like that. Have you driven a Beetle? Did you drive a Beetle, Kim?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was old and rusty, though. I think if it was more solid, maybe I would feel differently. At Mexican Spec, when you drive on the highway here, and by highway, I mean a quarter mile from our house, the speed limit becomes, what? Is it 50?
It's supposed to be 50.
You immediately have to go 60 miles an hour. Or else you'll get run off the road by the biggest truck you've ever seen in your life. Right? And so you're in a Volkswagen, right? And the truck is that big, and they right up on your back bumper, and they're ready to go right now.
If you're in a Beetle, you don't want to be on a Beetle with a big ass truck behind you.
They will push you off the road just to get past you. I mean, it's scary.
So anyway.
It would be fun to, like, putter down the road, driving Miss Daisy, kind of like fun, but, like, they're not practical at all here. Where I live right now, the way I live my life. Like, if I want to go anywhere, I got to get on a highway, and they're not.
Dougster says he's got a friend that has a Beetle with a split rear window. They did that like in 49, 50, 51, 52, somewhere in there. Stray Bullet, how you doing? You made it here. Gary, I hate tailgaters. You have no idea how much I hate tailgaters. Gary remembers, I was kind of an aggressive driver, but today's aggressive, like, I'm still kind of an aggressive driver in my mind, but compared to today's drivers, I'm calm. I drive like an old man. But I feel like I'm pushing the speed limit. I'm doing all that stuff, you know? But the drivers today are way crazier. Hey, that's a cool mod on the Matador. Which is the mod? Which is the mod? The bumper's gone? You take the bumpers off and the holes where the bumpers go, sometimes they put lights in there and sometimes they cover them up like that. Oh. Yeah, Stray Bullet was in there last night.
I think
Harry,
Beetles are super
Harry.
cool cars. The character is so cool. And I think that, like, for a city car or like a collector car or whatever, they're just they're so neat. They're like, everybody's like, wow, everybody wants to see them, but I don't want to own one. That's okay. I want other people to own them so I can look at them and go, wow.
For some reason, my Volkswagen.
I don't want to own one.
My Volkswagen.
And slow is a very, very, very subjective kind of thing. What is slow? You know?
Yeah, Gary says there's a difference between aggressive and just plain stupid, and I agree with that. I just get so upset because there'll be somebody in a big jacked up truck like 2 feet from my bumper, and there's traffic all in front of me. It's like, where the hell are you going to go if I move over and let you by? You know, you're going to go do that to the next guy? The cops don't do anything about it because the cops are all about 20 years old, and they drive the same way.
They drive the same way. All the people were raised playing Grand Theft Auto on their video games. They've got jobs. They've got expensive houses, expensive cars, lots of bills, and a meth habit to support. And they got to hurry up and get to work so they can make more money, so they can spend more money. And they do not care about nobody else. Everybody else is just in their way. And they're jacked up on whatever, and they got to hurry up and get to the gym so they can lift more weights.
You know, it's not the majority of drivers, though. Because, like, the other day when I took you to the doctor and came back, nobody ever did anything like that. When we were, where else we go? We went out by Fort Campbell somewhere. And the whole drive, we went out there to buy some car parts at a store. And nobody did that. But all it takes is one, and then I'm upset, you know. And I don't know what to do about them. If it's more than one lane, I move so they go by. If I'm in a road where I can't let them by, it's really aggravating.
It's not all drivers, but there's always one out there, especially if you go out, you know, during the peak times in the morning or in the afternoon. There's always these people that are in a super hurry to get home or a super hurry to get to work, and you cannot go fast enough to please them.
That's zipping around people on the highway in a Beetle, Kim. They keep up with traffic, but I don't know. I don't know what she said. I'm just not. I don't like sitting in them. I like the
no pun intended.
President. Yeah, that'd be something. Yeah, then what would I be? The first lady? No, I'd be the first man. Oh, let's see here. Where were we before that came up? I like the little. I don't know what happened. I had a folder full of Volkswagen stuff in it. I can't get that folder open. I like the little. A lot of the kit cars, like the Myers Manx dune buggies, man. I love driving those things, and that's just a Type 1 Volkswagen. But there's just something about sitting in that compared to a Volkswagen that's kind of nice. Yeah, they'll pass one or two cars and risk 6 to 8 total strangers' lives to do it. Yeah, that sucks. Super Beetles tended to take in weight what they theoretically gave in power. The thing about the Super Beetle was the tread width on the front was much wider. They had McPherson strut suspension, and I think they have rack and pinion steering. I don't remember, but the whole front end was different. They handled a lot better. This scrolled by so quickly, so you're saying drivers are more sane in Mexico. They could be, I don't know. I don't see much of that here. There are jerk-offs out there, but the majority just drive along. Yeah, I bet they aren't as crazy as they are here.
See, the thing about the Super Beetle...
What's Harry do?
Oh.
Put an old window washer pump in your trunk. Yeah, I've thought about that. Motor oil, just baby oil. Turn on the wipers and smear the window all up. Well, I had a friend that he said he didn't have a rear wiper or rear washer, so he bent his a little bit. So he'd be shooting the the stream's over the top of the car, and wash his window. Somebody tailgate him, and they back off. I was surprised they back off from just shooting the window washer fluid on them. They'd back off. I'm surprised that worked. Right lane and 2-lane highway, and they race up behind me. They can, yeah, you'd like them. How to drive an air-cooled VW, pick huge fight with significant other. What is this?
He's talking about how to really be ready. Pick a fight with your significant other, hit your head, slam your finger, and then you're ready. You're ready.
Oh, I start getting mad at somebody tailgating, and she'll get mad at me because I get too aggravated.
It's scary.
I get aggravated. I really get aggravated with them.
And I worry that he will harass another driver in some way, and then they will shoot us. Because there are a lot of people here with guns, and there are a lot of angry people on the roads. And if they're driving like that, they're definitely not in their right mind. So
well, if they got their windows down, I'll yell at them something like, "Hey, speed up!" Now they're really confused, because most people go, "Hey, slow down." "Hey, speed up." I don't like pulling 3K plus. What is that? I want it. I don't.
He's talking about overdrive, dropping your engine RPM at highway speed. And yeah, the economy cars of the past didn't have a good overdrive. And they didn't have the horsepower to maintain speed with an overdrive anyways.
They get too close. Foot comes right off the gas. Yeah, I do it, but not abruptly.
They'll run into you here if you do that.
I'll just ease off the gas a little bit. And my friend Carl out there in Arizona, he used to say to me, he goes, "You know what? If they're driving too close," he goes, "it's not safe." So he goes, "I slow down to a speed that it is safe." But he was also pretty bad about it. He wouldn't tailgate so much, but he scared the crap out of me a couple of times because he had fast cars, and I'm sitting there with sphincter muscle.
Quantumaniac, you already said that. Stop. I don't even want to be president.
Yeah.
Or are you referring to me with the distant look in my eyes, like?
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That's enough politics. One night.
Enough politics. Well, it gets upset when I get aggravated. Yeah. Oh, you got the same problem I do, Gary. Oh, that's pretty bad. In fact, if I don't have to hack up my charger, I would be all over that CF. What is that?
It must be some model transmission. I don't know well enough.
ZF is a German-made transmission, so I just am not familiar with it.
Is it an 8-speed?
8 HP. Don't know the model numbers of these transmissions. I know like
C4,
C6, 904, 727, all the stuff from the 60s and 70s. I know those transmissions. Any new transmission, it's like, yeah, I hope it works. Like my Mazda, it's a 6-speed automatic, and I guess it works. When that engine or transmission takes a crap, that body's gonna get jacked up. I'm gonna build a frame, put on there, and put a small block Chevy in the front.
There's more.
Okay, so what is it? A ZF 8 HP transmission. What? Okay, it's got a output shaft that looks like it looks like a European output shaft. I don't know much about that.
Is it an 8-speed plug-in hybrid transmission?
Well, you could.
That's what it says right here.
I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to read about that later. Can't do that during oh man, I'm trying to get this. It's scrolling by. I used to make yuppies in Beamers flush up the cops for me. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You get somebody like that, maybe they'll fly by you, and Carl used to call them the heat sink because they'd go by and then they wouldn't pay attention to the stupid stuff we're doing. They go after the Beamer that's going twice the speed limit if they saw him. Dakota isn't here. We're good. We're adults. Yeah, Dakota. Now, is Dakota an adult or not? He's 20, so he's over 18. He's an adult, but he's not 21. I don't know. Dakota's a pretty sharp guy, man. I like having Dakota around. I met him. He was 16. I met him at one of Uncle Tony's lives. He's a good guy. Who would we want to be president? That's a problem with the whole thing. Nobody wants the job. You know who'd be a good president? You just pick out some old person on the road where you live that's, they tried to pay their bills all their life and their kids didn't get in trouble and they're just a good person. But yeah, how do you get them to, you get them to run? This is going so fast. I want to see what Mexican Spec said about Brasilia. Okay, by the way, everybody, the video on the Brasilia came out. Okay, you can scroll back up again. So the Brasilia is on his channel now on YouTube. It's the new Chrysler 8-speed behind the Hemis. Okay, so it's a European 8-speed automatic. Torque plate transmission, my dad's 69 Dart. Yeah, that's probably a 904. Probably not a 727, probably a 904. And 904s, you can make them, those will handle 500 horsepower if you build them right. My friend's F-250 has a 5-speed, basically. It's a 3-speed with a granny low and an overdrive. I'd be freaking chain smoking press conferences if I ended up there. I'd be fine with that. Tell them to go press conferences. You ask me such a stupid question, just leave. That sounds like a pretty decent ring. Exactly, there's a way to get away with speeding on the highway if you don't have a car that makes them look at you. Yeah, that's why I got my Mazda. It's kind of a dark, what is that thing? Silvery gray looking car.
If you're the only car out there, they'll notice. But
this young salesman, I was his third customer at the Mazda dealer, and he knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. We went out in the back and we're looking at all the Mazda 6s. He goes, that one's about what you want. And he knew the accessories I wanted. And there's like a whole group of them were kind of the price range of what I wanted. Man, there was a bright red metallic one there. And I was like, I want that one. No, I better not get that one. And I just put my finger on the other one that was next to it, which is the one I got. And it's kind of a dark color that the police won't pay any attention to. I can't keep up with this.
Quantumaniac said Jay Leno for president. I think Jay Leno was way too smart to want to become president. I just don't think he would want to do that. I think he's enjoying his life, and that being president would be a major distraction from all the stuff that he enjoys. So I think you have to find somebody who wants to.
I'm really lost here. Gary Stafford 20 years ago, yes. I'm not sure what that is. Jay Leno seems to have it together. Jay Leno does have it together. And Jay Leno, man, this is going fast. Jay Leno, like Johnny Carson, they could tell jokes about political figures without getting into the politics. And they tell funny stuff, but they didn't get into the politics of it, which is kind of cool. They're masters at that. I had a cigar, but Jay Leno, by the way, just did on his garage, did a video on the president's car, that big old tank they drive down the road, looks like a Cadillac. It's a pretty nice video. And he even says this isn't about any particular president. This is about the Secret Service in this vehicle. And they had 2 Secret Service guys there. And one of the Secret Service guys, oh, you got to watch it. It's great. He was a mechanic, worked for 16 years in a dealership, and then he was looking for another job, and he didn't even know it was his government job that was mechanic. And it turned out to be the Secret Service working on the president's car, and he got the job. So he's standing there in a suit and tie and everything, looks like a Secret Service agent, and all. He's a mechanic. It's pretty cool. So go watch Jay Leno's garage when you're done here. Yeah, she has dementia. She is not an issue. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about. Inside of the windshield, bad yellow film on the glass. Unfortunately, Jay Leno's wife has. Yeah, she does. She's yeah, he's a good guy. He'll take care of her. To be honest, when I'm 71, I gotta get cranky for a tomorrow. Use an ashtray. Oh, I don't know about that. Jay Leno's wife. Yep. They're probably both too old. You know, president's one of those jobs. You really need a young person that's in good shape, But then the old person, if they're still mentally there, it's just like police. The best police officer would be like a 75-year-old guy that's got all these life's experiences. But that'll never work. So it's young person's job, and so physically they're up to it, but mentally maybe not. It's just one of those things in life. When I see here, Jay Leno's wife, yeah, they probably both too old. Okay, on occasion, yeah, I guess Jay's wife has passed a lot of stuff. Let's see. The Beast, yeah, the Beast, that car that's the Beast. Yeah, Jay does a pretty good video on it. He just put it out like a couple of days ago. 26 is not talking about the cars they were standing next to. What is this? 20 Iceman? What the heck is that? Iceman? I'm not sure. 20 minutes of talking about the car they were standing next to. Oh, is that the Jay Leno's Beast? Reagan used a 73 Imperial limousine for his inauguration. Lots of pics on that. See, I don't remember the Imperial. That would have been pretty cool. Yeah, they used Lincolns. I guess they've used Chryslers. They've had the Cadillacs for years now, but they're not really Cadillacs. It's some kind of Chevy truck underneath with custom-made body that looks like a Cadillac. So it's some kind of armored car. The only way it's reported Jay applied in court to be caretaker. Yeah, and he got on and did a video about it. Someone in their 50s is good age, I think. Hey, it could be. Not too long from now, the president will be AI. Oh, God, I hope not. AI, just what we need. Oh, yeah, what is that? Is that it?
It's a 73 Imperial
Oh,
limousine.
it's not the one that Reagan was in. That thing's open. Could be. Jeez. I can't imagine him being in an open car after what happened to Kennedy. Yeah, they couldn't talk about the Beast, too classified. Yeah, but it was still a good video. They didn't talk a lot about it, but they talked some about it, and they avoided a lot of questions. But the way they avoided them, and then talking to the guy that's a mechanic, that's what I liked. Here's a guy that's 16 years working as a mechanic in dealerships, 2 different dealerships, and he's just a mechanic, and he applies for a mechanic job with the government, doesn't say Secret Service, gets in there, gets hired, and now he's working on the president's car. And he told some good stories about the car breaking down and them fixing it just in time. And it just makes me laugh because stuff like that happens. You know how cars are. They quit at the worst times possible, you know.
Simply maintaining your car properly, especially the older cars, they liked maintenance. You know what I mean? Like, you had to keep after them and watch them. Simply maintaining your car, you get way better fuel economy, way higher reliability, way longer lifespan by maintaining. Most drivers at this point in the world, especially in the United States, just drive. Maybe they do oil changes, but manufacturers know that people are not going to do any maintenance that's not critical, essential, you know, until breakdown.
Limos don't get used much. Why would the air compressor go out? Because it doesn't get used much. You ever let a car sit like for a month? You know it's going to be trouble.
I know. When I go out to my van to start my van, because I only use it a couple times a month, every time I go out, I think, oh man, I should have come out and started this earlier. Because his van has a draw on the battery, so the battery's almost always dead when we go out. My van, I've been lucky. It just goes every time. When's the last time my van was broke down? It's been so reliable.
The funny story about the van breaking down is we went to No Name Nationals. And just get out of Clarksville. I mean, we're like 10 minutes into the trip.
Not even. We were like...
Not 5 minutes into the trip.
We got on the highway. We went roaring up this big hill. And just as we crested over the hill and the front end was down...
No, you were going uphill. And you start pulling off the road. I was like, what's going on? You said that it's overheating.
Oh, we went down the hill, and as we came across the bottom, the temperature gauge went boop, and I was like, uh-oh.
So we pull over, and way down some hillside, there's a creek down there. So Kim takes all the bottles we got, because of course we don't have any water, and we didn't check the fluids before we left. She climbs down the hill. I move the van. There's a big dirt pole out there, so I move over into the dirt a little bit because the cars are whoop, 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 going by us. So I move over. She comes back up the hill. She did a video down there, which is posted on my channel, I think. She comes up with all this water, and it was a really nice, clean water creek down there. It was big. So she got all this water. We put it in the van and drove up the top of the hill. Over the top of the hill, there's a off ramps. We pull off there, and we fill it up with water. And I'm thinking, when was the last time we checked the water in this van? Oh, we had to drain the coolant out of it at No Name Nationals because you couldn't have coolant
Good water.
You couldn't have coolant on the racetrack, so we put water in it. Well, that was the last time we did anything. It was a year before at No Name Nationals, and here we are. Yeah, Ari, we were out there on the road, and I was thinking about you. Check your fluids, and here we are, stuck out in the road with not enough coolant in a stupid van on the trip.
Check your fluids. That's right, Ari. Ari's here. Welcome to the street.
Yeah. He's been here. He's been here.
Iceman got his beast stuck in a parking lot exit.
Oh, let's see. I missed that.
Oh, man. You need some skid plates on that car. I don't like a real low-slung car. They look nice, but they're just...
You remember Vegas?
What a pain.
Vegas, you go over speed bumps, just normal speed bumps, and you feel the bottom of the car hit the speed bump as soon as the front wheels are over.
That's something I really like about moving the Dart up from 13-inch to 14 or 15-inch wheels is that they look okay under the fenders, but it lifts the car up an inch off the ground more, and it's good.
Pete's Custom Car Shop. Good evening. See new people in here?
Oh, hi, Pete. I was watching one of Pete's videos today.
You're just watching one of Pete's videos, so that's pretty cool.
I was.
Let's see. I've been watching some people's videos that were in here.
I can't remember what it was about.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it all.
There is so many people in the community. Thank you for being here, Pete. I apologize that we're learning new people as they come. And people come and go. Not everybody finds, as they start making YouTube content, as they, honestly, it is like a full-time lifestyle. And we do not do full-time work. But, you really have to be very invested, and it's a lot of work. And I'm not surprised when there's people who, they just stop doing it. Because there's not really a lot of money into it.
Ari says, I don't always practice what I preach. Yeah, Ari, we were out there on the road. Didn't check the fluids before we're on a trip, and we're 5 minutes into the trip. And what have we got in the back? I said, we must have some water back here. We got all these empty bottles. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, We got all these tools. We got a mini bike. We got, everything you need to go to the races. And empty bottles of water.
We had oil. We had tools. We just
feel like a bunch of Keystone Cops out there. Oh, man. No, the presidential beast, Kim, was all over the news.
Oh, the presidential beast got caught in a parking lot. What is it? Super
really?
low?
Oh, I don't know
It's
about that.
heavy. They're armored. Bulletproof and all.
Oh.
So that's probably why it probably, when it hits, it can't scrape so good. I'm surprised it's not four-wheel drive so that it can all-terrain.
Pete's pistol. Is that the one that's on the belt? Did I miss that? Is that one? Don't know. Man, the president's car, I remember President Ford, they were in some city. I don't remember what city it was. But, they get together, the Secret Service gets together ahead of time, and they block off intersections, all this kind of stuff, and they have a route that they're going to go on. Well, they messed up and didn't block off one of the intersections, and somebody, 16-year-old kid, T-boned the president's limousine. And, of course, that's a security problem, so they just take off. The Secret Service is driving the limousine. They just gone. They leave this guy out there with his smashed-up car in the intersection. I remember afterwards, President Ford, he apologized to the kid. Does anyone have to go pee? No, we wear diapers. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
I don't wear diapers.
I'm just giving them a hard time.
That's not to say I've never worn a diaper, but I don't wear diapers.
Titan Power Torque O'Reilly. I don't know what all this is.
This is Pete's. He must be a Pete, are you part of the No Name Nationals? Are you going to No Name Nationals this year? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Look at his shorts. What's he got for shorts? Scroll down. Oh, it might not be this one. Scroll down a little further. Nope, scroll back up. Scroll back up to the top. Nah, it's not the. I guess I don't know. I was just watching some of those. They all look familiar to me. I know I'm subscribed to this.
Okay. He's got 434 subscribers and 173 videos. I remember
You got
looking
a
at that.
bunch of
173 videos. That's a big investment of time and energy.
I think that's what I have right now, somewhere around there, and that is. It's a lot of.
Shout out to Pete. He's trying to build his brand.
Everybody in here. I mean, if you want to watch Pete,
check out Pete's channel. Give him a sub.
Give him a sub. Get him up over 500 so we can go to No Name National.
See if he earns your sub. I think he probably does. If he's working that hard at it.
Just
depends.
Oh, Pete's customer. Nope, just seen you were live. Yeah, we do this every Tuesday night, and then we have impromptu lives up in the shop.
It's only an hour and a half. We can go an hour and a half. I did have a big beverage and a cup of coffee at the beginning too,
yeah,
so
8:30.
You would think I would start to.
Hey, that's me. Oh, you put him up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had him up on the screen.
So yeah, I'm telling everybody, go sub. So what's he got? 434. We might be able to get you over 500 tonight. I don't know, maybe not.
I don't think we can.
But we might be able to get you closer. Huh. Oh, that head gasket. All right, it was there that day. It was just in case purchase, though. What is this about? Well, see, Kim and I work on cars, and a lot of, I think both of us worked on all different cars, but right now, we seem to be in the Mopar stuff, A-bodies. She has a 66 Dart. I have a 72 Valiant. And then I got a daily driver that's a late model Mazda. Or not that late model anymore. Oh, that's a car I used to have.
We just like to talk about cars, and we talk about what's going on in the life and times of all the car people that are going on around the internet. And then we got a green screen, and so we can put stuff up there.
Oh, thanks, Mexican Spec. You put a link up there to your channel so people can go sub.
So, we're just making friends, encouraging each other, because, it's rough out there.
So, Pete, are you going to No Name Nationals, or is that your plan? Or I don't even know where you are.
Yeah, is that how you ended up in our community, is through the No Name Nationals
event? He said he saw we were live, so he came in.
Yeah, but did he see we were live because of the No Name
Nationals?
Nationals?
I do have the No Name Nationals tag on there, so could have been. You guys haven't inherited a cat and a 64 Dart as well. Oh, the cat. Sad, the cat's gone. Kim also has a...
We don't have a 64 Dart, we have a 66 Dart.
Oh, a 66 Dart.
That's different.
He's saying his 64 Dart and a cat, that he was going to let us have a... Yeah, man. You got
and a piano.
Piano. You also have that. You have that really nice slant. Did you ever put it in the Dart, or is it still sitting on the shop floor?
And how we got started.
You don't even know about it. No Name Nationals. You're gonna have to.
What part of the country in you?
Mexican Spec. Can you put up a link to the No Name Nationals?
Maybe John Wilburn. Check out John Wilburn.
Well, but there is a No Name Nationals. Maybe John Wilburn.
The Square site.
Yeah, and then Hubie's. Is it Hubie or Hubie?
So No Name Nationals is it's an annual, once-a-year event in Sikeston, Missouri for YouTube content creators. And we all kind of support each other and get to know each other. And then when we meet up, it's a lot of fun. And it generally breaks out into some drag racing. But mostly it's just an excuse for us all to meet up together and support each other.
So he says, he subbed to my channel a couple of weeks ago when I seen one of your shorts. I thought your channel was similar to mine. That's probably when I subbed to yours, because I remember subbing yours. And I remember that what is that thing called out there? Avatar?
Oh, you know what?
I do remember that.
He probably subbed to one of our shorts. And so when people sub, we usually click on their profile to see if they're like another content creator. And if they are, we look at what they're doing and reciprocate subs because
I don't
maybe they're doing something interesting.
have the
and we
link
want to
for
know
No
about it.
Name National website isn't working. Okay, try.
I can look it up.
Okay, we'll try it here, and
I'll
maybe you
find it.
maybe
Keep
you can
talking.
find it. Maybe you
You're
can find
doing
it.
great.
Kim's going to look for the No Name Nationals site, or for AHRA, or for John Wilburn. John Wilburn is really the guy that puts all the effort into the No Name Nationals, and then AHRA, American Hot Rod Association, is Dallas Brown. Dallas Brown is the president of that, and he bought several years ago, he bought the AHRA, which is kind of dwindled down to not much, but he's bringing it back up as an organization for more grassroots kind of drag racing. So it's not $1 million sponsors. It's people that normal people that put a car together and want to go racing, and I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I drove right by the highway to Sykeston when I visited my mom. Oh man, you probably drove almost right by here. You're in Minnesota. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, it's straight south for you, basically, I think.
Really?
Well,
It's probably like 10 hours. Or
I don't know.
something.
I drove all over the country. You remember the first year No Name Nationals? I was in Oregon and hustled out here to Tennessee, packed up my clothes again, took a shower, and off to Missouri. And I just got used to doing that, so I forget that a 2,000-mile trip is not a big deal, or is a big deal for most people. Kim Buff, I got to run. Have a great evening. Hey, Gary, thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for stopping, Gary.
Good to see you.
Yeah. So, Pete, a lot of the people that are in our lives are also content creators. They're car people, and we come here to talk about whatever we want because it's our show. And so we mostly talk about cars, but sometimes it just goes wherever. And
Okay, Tim's trying to learn how to edit the videos.
using DaVinci, that's like starting with the most elaborate and difficult tool.
What is the one that you use that I use now?
Okay. A lot of times we just use the regular Windows Movie Maker software. It's like a $5 app that you can get off the Windows site, and you can like cut and you can trim videos and compress them down, like take out dead air and stuff like that, really easy, and it doesn't crash and stuff. But I mean, there's not a lot of fancy features. You can't do little animated garbage and stuff like that, but it's way easier to learn than something like DaVinci. DaVinci, people go to like school for a couple of years to learn how to use DaVinci. So I don't know if that's where you want to start, but I mean, whew.
Okay, the only people who you have to be a mod to put links up here. Mexican Spec might be able to put up some links to some of these people that are in here to their channels, and I don't know how much work you want to do, Mexican Spec, but if you want to do that, go ahead. Tim's saying, is that from Microsoft? Yeah, it's a Microsoft thing. The one I used to begin with is just the one that comes with Windows. What was that thing I was using?
Windows Video Editor, and I don't recommend you use it because it's too simple.
You lose some of the resolution. Yeah. What's the one you use?
Windows Movie Maker.
Movie Maker, and that's from Microsoft, and that's the one you're talking about that's inexpensive. That's great. She taught me how to use it.
It's only a couple bucks.
She taught me how to use like the stuff that I'd need right away, and the rest of it I've learned myself, just pissing around with it.
Iceman, that is for PC.
Oh, Ari's in here. He can put some links up too. I forgot Ari was in here as a mod. Yeah, you can put up like, I don't know if Tim's
You don't have to put a link to our channel. You're already in there already.
But see, put one up for Dougster. Yeah. Dougster's got some good stuff, and Tim, I don't know if Tim's has a channel or not. And do you have anything up there? I don't know what you have.
You're fine, Mexican Spec.
Who's this? What did he say?
Thank you.
Give me a
Ari.
minute. I'm finishing. Oh, yeah. Just finish your dinner, of course. I don't expect you to be here.
Iceman, Windows Movie Maker is for PC. And if you have Mac, there's good video software that's already built into your Macs. So you probably don't need to buy anything. The other thing that's really nice about Windows Movie Maker is you pay for it once and then you have it. They have not turned it into a subscription-based service. So I've been using it for a couple of years and I've never had to pay for it again, which all of the other software has gone to monthly subscription services. You pay and pay and pay and pay again, and you don't necessarily ever get anything better. And sometimes they just change stuff, and now you have to learn all new processes and continue to pay. I also make videos, but that they're not horrible.
Harry, you make some good
channel.
stuff.
You're just not very consistent with
Mexican
making more
says,
stuff.
I have 4 cat's eyes staring me down. They're about to get kicked. You know, years ago we had a glass table and we had a
Zoom in
dog,
on that thing.
and the dog would look up through the glass table at us while we're eating. That'd drive me nuts. You knew we were eating, you know. Oh man. Oh, that's just one of these crazy pictures. It's a Buick gay body. It's somebody.
Put a dually rear end in.
Somebody. Yeah, it's a front driver. That's what's so crazy.
Oh shoot! It's a front driver.
Well, they may have made it into. They may put that body over.
I wonder
something
what
that's
the
a rear
towing
driver.
capacity on that
I don't know.
is.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, what are you going to tow with that? There's no hitch on it. Airy shorts are good. I see his. Sometimes I don't even know they're his. They're just suggest I click on that, and as soon as I click on it, I go, oh, this one Ari's. And yeah, he's always got good music. And yeah, what is that? That's what I want to know. What is that? I know it's a Buick. It's a Buick special wagon thing. Don't know.
Is that like a Chevy Celebrity?
Same body as a Celebrity.
And their front driver. Is it a V6 even?
Oh, who knows? They had
Four-cylinder?
2.8s. New ones had 3.1s, and they also had the my favorite engine, the Iron Duke. Had the Iron Dukes in it. You already got a piece of your chicken. They're still there. Oh man.
I mean, we're all just out here trying to, get our slice of the pie. Most people want to be monetized, but if you've made 170 videos, you're pretty dedicated. I'm surprised that you're not in the monetized range. But the thing is when you get monetized, you don't immediately start making a bunch of money.
Here's another one that's kind of a good old picture. It's a 1947 Oldsmobile.
Is that Barney Fife?
No, it's a California Highway Patrolman. That's a real picture.
I know.
Can you believe that? California Highway Patrol with that.
What is that car? It looks
It's
very
a 47
sleek.
Oldsmobile.
That's pretty.
The Tech 4 era. Yeah, the Tech 4. See, Dougster doesn't like that either.
Tech 4,
Tech 4.
that station wagon we're talking about.
Tech 4, that was the Iron Duke. And everybody says it's a garbage engine. I can't believe people say that. I had one that I had one that I put in a Dodge Dart. Everybody laugh at that. And I ran that thing for a long time. And then my friend Carl drove it for years. And then I had, what's that? The little S10. S10 had Iron Duke in it. Tech 4, same thing. And those things are bulletproof. I don't know why everybody hated them. I mean, they weren't fast. But, The one in the Dart had a feedback carburetor on it. The one, because it was a 1980, the S10s were newer than that, so they,
Sorry.
a little crash here. The S10s had the throttle body injection.
I think
want the
that
siren.
a four-cylinder, front-wheel drive four-cylinder in a station wagon is a little bit... I don't think so. They did that with the minivans too, and people were like, those engines are junk. It's like, well, they shouldn't have put that in a minivan.
That is a Buick. Oh, your dad had rebuilt the engine when he was a kid. It had a 3.8. Some of those A-body Buicks had 3.8s. I never had one. I wanted one so bad, but they're hard to find. I had a friend, I worked with a guy, and he had a 3.8 in his.
A
And
3.8 would have been a much better
man,
choice.
I had 3.8s in other cars, but I always wanted one in an A-body because I had a bunch.
Much
It's
better.
just like, when you get a car, you start getting a bunch of them, like, when you don't have a lot of money. Yeah, I had A-body GM cars around. I had one Olds. What was the Olds called? Can't remember. I had several Buick. What are the Buicks called? Specials? I don't remember. The A-body Buicks, and I had several Chevy Celebrities around.
Skyhawk.
No, but anyway, Cutlass Sierra. I had one Cutlass Sierra.
I remember those too.
And Cutlass Sierra
Duke
I had.
was better as a rear-wheel drive, Dougster says, and I had an
What is this?
S10 with an Iron Duke, and it had a lot of miles, and it just
Wait a minute.
kept on going.
What'd you have with an Iron Duke?
An S10.
An S10. Okay, yeah, that's.
It was the old style S10.
See, the rear drive ones had the same bell housing bolt pattern as a small block Chevy. The front drivers had a little funny looking bell housing bolt pattern, but the engine inside was the same. That coolant flowed the opposite direction in the front drivers, but still the head was the same. The head had a freeze plug pressed in one end where the thermostat would go, and if it was a rear driver, the freeze plug was pressed in the other end. It's just, my mom had one for years and really had some of those GM wagons still going today. Man, I drove those GM wagons all over the place. Oh, yeah, port events. It was a Cutlass, supposedly, yeah.
Those 3.1 engines, I avoid them like the plague because everyone I've ever seen for sale, like marketplace kind of thing, bad head gaskets. Always. Always.
I had 2.8s and 3.1s, and just about all of them knock, and they didn't last very long. And but by the time I had those engines, they were old.
Yeah, always on the secondary market.
And you know what?
Not even from a dealership. Somebody trying to unload it.
My guess was
they're probably fine new.
They were probably not maintained well because by the time I was buying them, they had 100,000.
A lot of those engines, they had the aluminum cylinder head, and people would drive them low on coolant, and that was the end of it. You just had to not let that happen.
You put a 3.4 in where there's a 3.1. Pete, how difficult was that swap? Because the 3.4 I think is a better engine, but don't know. I never had a 3.4, but I used to see those. What was the Chevy, the one that came after the Celebrity? I can't think of what it was. There was a red one that had 3.4s and a really slick looking car. I can't remember what those things were called. I just drove a 94 Regal GS Coupe with a 3800. It was a rocket, not being handicapped in the four-door Park Avenue body, yeah.
3800 is a good motor. They're like people rate them as very highly. It's a lot of motor for a 6-cylinder.
I had a quad 4. I think it had 190 horsepower, which at the time was kicked ass, and it was in a Oldsmobile Achieva. But I had a guy working for me at the time, and he changed the oil for me in the shop, and he didn't put oil in it. He got busy and forgot and drove it down the street and ruined the engine. So that was a problem. What is this? Here it is, Ari.
Mexican Specs throwing out a car for Ari.
Oh, okay. It's a gorgeous little. Okay, fine. Yeah, click on his stuff there. He's got Mexican Spec. Always has good cars.
Pete, Mexican Spec is one of our moderators. He is known and respected in our car community. He's in Mexico, but does he have dual citizenship?
Well,
So
he's U.S.
he's
and Mexican.
in Mexico, and he helps people import Mexican cars into the U.S. And in Mexico, obviously, rust is a lot less of a problem, and then the cost of restorations is very inexpensive. So a lot of the cars have upgraded interior. It's kind of like buying cars from Cuba. That's what it makes me kind of think
except
of.
Cuba, they're all way old and I don't consider like a Russian tractor engine in a '57 Chevy is a Ford move.
It's different.
So Mexico, the American cars in Mexico were built there, and they have some differences, and they're pretty interesting cars. A lot of manual transmissions.
So we do end up talking a lot about the cars that he has available to import into the United States. They're older cars because you can't import new Mexican cars because of pollution and crash standards and
I think
whatnot.
it.
You're
What
just
is
not
it?
allowed.
What is it? Mexican spec? 30 years. Has to be 30 years
So
old.
he's got the
bring it
older
in?
cars. He's got his finger on the pulse of that, and he is like your go-between between the seller and getting it into the United States. Like, I don't understand how the process works. I wouldn't know where to begin. But if you want to do that, Mexican Spec is your guy to talk to. And he posts a bunch of the cars that he sees on Instagram. And then if you want to work a deal, he 25 years or older. So
it's not 30, it's 25.
he
That's
posts
pretty
lots
good.
of cars up there, and they are really cool. And if I was buying and selling cars, which I generally don't like to sell cars because I'm not good at it, and I always lose money. Not always, but I generally lose money. So I just work on the cars that I like. Everything we own is junk. I don't even want to be burdened with anything that I have to make money off of.
He was banished from L.A. to Las Vegas, then to Mexico.
Banished?
He banished you. I don't know. I think you probably enjoy Mexico. The new Ram Chargers are hot right now. They're keeping me busy. Yeah, the Ram Chargers you seem to get a lot of those. The Mexican Spec lived also in is it Oregon or Idaho? Right there in that town. I can never think of the name of it. Right on the Idaho-Oregon border, where I just was. I can never think of the name of that.
Pete, do you got videos of that car being fast? Get that stuff
What's
out
that?
there.
Because I
Show
bet it's
people
fast.
what you got. Show
Because I
people what
bet
you
it's
can do.
fast. Oh, what a mean looking car. Oh, you like that Cadillac, huh? I don't know who did that.
That's a
I
cool
don't-
custom.
I don't know who did
Where'd
that
you get
Cadillac.
that picture?
Oh,
You were just
I just
strolling?
looking through my pictures, yeah.
We do a lot of that.
I just put stuff up there to kind of.
It's like the dream folder.
It's a
you
picture
see
show.
something really, picture show.
Picture show, and I put stuff up from the picture show. Car shop emission stuff didn't come here until much later. The Fairmonts never had variable Venturi. Yeah, mine had a variable Venturi. My first one had a variable Venturi. The second one had a it's an Edelbrock now. Had an AFB on it. Oh man, the second one was wait a minute. That was the first one. The second one was a wagon, had the variable Venturi. The first one was the Futura that had a pretty nicely built 302 in it. It had the AFB on it. Oh. It's custom car shop. Also, every Mustang ever sold in Mexico from 64.5 to 84 was a V8 car. They never sold a 4 or 6 cylinder Mustang here. Wow, what about the Mustang 2s? I know they had V8s and Mustang 2s all except 1 year, so you guys got V8s in all of them. 8mm, someday I will convert. 8mm. Oh, your stuff's on 8mm film? If they need a chassis design engineer here at Rivian. Oh God, no, I'm not moving out there. I don't need to pay California taxes. Never again.
He's retired.
Yeah, all it would take is me to call the company I used to work for and go, and they're hiring. They'd hire me in a second, but then I'm back on the road every day of my life, and I'd be in Arizona, Oregon, Maryland.
And I'd have to stay here and take care of the place, so
tearing
then
my
we'd
hair
be
out.
separate.
And I'd make really good money, but I wouldn't be having any fun. It's like I worked for 55 years. It's enough.
Dougster's leaving. Dougster, thank you for being in the stream. We enjoy your presence and your videos. Say hello to the Lady Dougster, and thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time, hopefully, if you can.
Mexican Spec says the Futura was not sold in Mexico. It was not missed. Man, I like that body style. He doesn't like it. We had the box top. You got a box top two-door right now for sale, I think. Um, and I saw that there, and I was wishing it was a Futura, like I can afford a car right now. I really like the Futuras. Man, I like the Futuras. And I don't know why. I just do. Oh, and the Futuras had that weird taillight on the back that was really cool. And the top, I know the top's really different, but I liked it. And mine was fast. That thing, it'd fly. You know, you can make a 302 Ford. You can make them powerful.
Oh
And,
yeah, and if
and
you have
that
a
thing was,
small light car,
and
it'll
that thing,
go.
I remember one time we were somewhere in the desert, way out in the eastern part of California, and I drove from there. I don't remember what the highway number is that heads west into Mojave, and I sat there with the speedometer on 100 miles an hour for like an hour. I had a girlfriend with me. We got into Mojave, and she shakes her head, and she goes, "You're crazy." That car was just sitting there, like sitting there turning 4,000 RPM for an hour. It was just, and that car had a roll bar in it. We had harnesses in it and everything. And the police never saw us. I was lucky. Oh, man. It just cruised like that. The 1970 Mustang II in Mexico had the V8 when they did. Yeah, they didn't have them in the U.S. In fact, in 75, they raised the hood up a little bit and they made the grill a little bit bigger. And I thought that was to accommodate the V8. But they did it in Mexico. Oh, man. That's pretty cool. Didn't know that. Some are still, night Dougster, later Dougster, everybody saying goodnight to Dougster. What time is it anyway?
All of them.
Oh,
The
it's 2 hours.
72 Maverick, that's like Thunderhead 289, drives that Maverick around. Them are cool looking cars. It's a shame. I know they were rusty where I lived. They were all gone.
Yeah,
You
to
don't
find
see
a,
'em. You
to
don't see
find a,
people driving them around. Maybe at car shows. But
to find a Fairmont box top with factory V8 engine in the U.S. was rare. You know, here's the deal about Fairmonts or Fox bodies is if you pull a four-cylinder out, I always look for the ones with the four cylinders because they were cheap and nobody really wanted them. You pull a four-cylinder out, the V8 will bolt right in. I mean, everything just bolts up easy. The six cylinders had a different cross member, nothing bolts up. So if you get a six-cylinder, you're pretty much stuck with a six-cylinder, unless you start making mounts and oil pans and all that kind of stuff. But the like Gary Stafford was in here earlier. I had that station wagon. I had a friend that had I think it was an '80 Mustang Fox body with a four-cylinder, and it ran fine, but he didn't like it. He wanted it faster, so I pulled the four-cylinder and four-speed out, and I bought that station wagon, and it had a bad engine in it. So we rebuilt the 302, rebuilt the automatic, put it in there, put it in his Mustang, and that thing was quick, and he loved it. So then I had this nice station wagon, and I had the old four-cylinder there, and Gary needed a car, so I dropped the four-cylinder 2300 in the station wagon with the four-speed. I had to make some clutch linkage, but Gary and his family drove it around for a couple of years, you know. But all that stuff just bolted in. Easy swap. So, yeah, if you got a four-cylinder Fox body, easy V8 swap. See, 74 cars with the factory V8s. Wow. Mustang was another car in Mexico that got all the V8s. It was Mexico's sports car. Oh, that's right. Didn't you also have a Shelby version of the Maverick? I think you guys had a Shelby version of the Maverick too, didn't you? It's one bit of a hot rod, I think. Questionable choice of paint, good shape, satellite or something. Four-cylinder, four-speed wagon. I've seen some of those. The original buyers of those got taken. You know the four-cylinder, four-speed out of the Mustang. I dropped it in the wagon that Gary had, and that was it was a Zephyr wagon. It was a real nice light blue, really clean car.
what year?
But somebody had smoked the engine in it. It was a 1980, I think 80. What are you looking for? Or the Mustang. It was definitely a 1980. Yeah, it was a black 1980 Mustang.
We've had that picture.
Yeah, I bet.
For a long time, and I thought it would be nice to
See,
just
Pete's
keep
Custom Shop.
the
Until
green up
1974, the Maverick got a 289. That's right, you had 289s well into the 70s. See, this out in Mexico was just a little different, you know. It's still all the same stuff, but just the years and everything weren't the same, and the engines, like the 289. Wow. I got to look back through my Ford stuff here. We're talking about all this stuff, and I'm not putting the pictures up. Um, Ford. What have I got? Oh, I probably got 1,000 pictures of Fords. Man. Oh.
The straight six would. I'm sorry, Pete. I'm way back in the chat, but you could do a good burnout with a posi with a straight six. I guess a Mustang's a pretty light car.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
Or no, Maverick, he says.
Oh, a Maverick, probably. My grandmother bought a new Maverick in '73, and she wanted me to help her find cars. I talked about this before, and there were all these Dodge Darts sitting at the Dodge dealer that were last year's model, so they were '72s, but they're brand new cars that hadn't sold, and they had slant sixes in them. And I remember the stickers on the windshield. The full price of those cars were $2,777, $2,700, whole line of them. I go buy one of those. Those are great cars. And she was coming out of like a 6-cylinder something, so that would have been fine. But she went to the Ford dealer and bought a V8 Maverick, and every day she'd back out her driveway into burnout going up the street because the car she had, you had to floor them to get up the street, and it was uphill, and so she'd back out in that Maverick and floor the gas and burn the right rear tire up the street. I don't think she even knew she was spinning the tire. What's the oh yeah? Oh yeah, what's oh yeah? Oh yeah. Pete's Custom says oh yeah. Mexican spec. Oh, you're putting up a Fairmont. Oh, the 3.8. Those are okay, I guess. You can't let them get hot. Oh, let's see.
I mean, that's like the sin. They need to do something with automotive design where no matter what happens, you don't lose that cooling so badly that it just boils out and burns it up. Like, it should stop. It should make you stop driving, or it should flash more than a check engine light or a gauge. Like, something should stop. Like, you must stop driving because you are going to destroy your car. Now, the crazy thing, right, is like the way cars now have all these computers, it knows. Like, the people who monitor all the stuff out of the computer, they know you ran your car out of water and overheated it. They can read the temperature. They can log it. So, like, if you destroy your car, they know you did it and it's your fault. What's going to happen when people start, finding that out? Or when people try to resell their vehicle and they know that you've overheated the engine or transmission or abused it. They can see that you were using donut mode and you've now...
Oh, yeah. Chrysler's got a donut mode.
We're not going to offer you... This is the price we're going to give you for your car because we can see in the logs that you've been driving too fast, that you've been driving erratically, that you haven't changed your oil, that you're... Like, all this stuff is going to become a thing. People don't see it coming. It's going to be this big shock to people. But the manufacturers know what you do in your car.
Oh, I got some really weird pictures.
I'll bring them up.
This is something I can't even believe happened. I can't even believe this even happened. This is a one-time car.
It's convertible.
Ohio Highway Patrol. You know what the weather's like in Ohio to begin with. And then they got one convertible, 1957 Ford. It's like, really? What do you put the top down and go out and write tickets? Tuning out, guys. Hey, Ari, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here.
Check out his channel. He's entertaining. He makes shorts and videos, and he's got good stuff coming. Right now, he's working really hard for Rivian. So he's a little distracted, but he's a perennial kind of creator, so he'll be back.
He's a guy that works on Rivian trucks, but then himself, he drives a 1960 Chevy.
Oh, it's a beautiful truck.
so it's like, it's a 60 Chevy pickup. So it's pretty cool.
Thanks for being here. We'll see you again soon. You can see him stream on Sunday night.
Sometimes.
He does an After the Tony. So if you know Uncle
Uncle Tony. He'll come on at 9 o'clock Central. I don't know what time.
On Sunday
Nine,
nights, look for Ari.
That would be 7 o'clock.
And he just does community stuff. Talks about the news and cars and what's going on in the world. So if you're looking for that, you'll really enjoy.
My 72 Demon isn't keeping any secrets from me. About the only electronics in it is the AM radio. 72 Demon. See, I have a 72, what is that thing? A Valiant. So it's very similar stuff. What engine do you have in that? What engine do you have in your 72 Demon? What's a Demon? It's like a Duster, isn't it? It's a Dodge, but it's like a Duster.
It's very much like a Duster.
Yeah, okay, it's the same body as a Duster. That's what I thought.
Isn't a Duster a Plymouth?
Plymouth, yeah, the Demon
And
would
a
be
Demon's a Dodge.
Dodge, yeah.
I think it's the same body.
Until like way newer Demons, there's a whole different thing.
I think it's the same body. It probably has different lighting, but other than that, it's the same body.
I've never seen one in real life. They apparently exist. Like that goofy thing.
He says it's a parade car, and that makes perfect sense.
You know what I think? I think they bought one as a test vehicle or something.
No,
I can't imagine what
parade.
I know.
Car.
So they put the top down and they, or some
right,
supervisor,
and some politicians
or some supervisor wanted it. Yeah, like the
the mayor.
the highway patrol would be like the governor or somebody rides around.
Maybe.
I think you may want to look at the ammeter circuit. Oh, here's the deal about the ammeter on something like the early Chrysler products. Kim, and we did some videos on it, didn't we? On removing the ammeter and putting in a voltmeter, so you don't have all that power running through the dashboard, because everything runs through there.
And it's not a problem if you're running the factory round back 20 amp alternator, but if you upgrade to something like a 50 amp and you're running lots of extra lights, what else would you be running? I don't know. You run your battery way down and now it's running through your dash trying to pump the battery full, and you melt it.
She did a pretty nice job on, took my instrument panel out, and
we did. We put a little voltmeter
she
in
put a
there.
voltmeter in there with a black background. It matches the rest of everything else. She had to trim some sheet metal and make some little mounts and stuff, but it came out really good. And so now I look over there, I got a voltmeter, which I kind of prefer anyway. I mean, you know, if it's over 12 or 12 and a half volts, if it's over 12 volts, you know it's charging. If it's under 12 volts, you know it's not.
Oh, and speaking of volts, we have to test what, because before, the voltage regulator in my 66 Dart, it was rusty, and the mounting was rusty, and it had gotten water in it, and that it was putting out more than 15 volts
Okay.
when it was running. So I replaced it. So we have to check to see if the new voltage regulator is doing what it's supposed to do.
I'm going to get right back to that. Tim says it was a 318 3-speed. Now it's a 360 with an 833 overdrive. Yeah, that's probably quite a car.
I would really like to find a nice 833 for my cars, but they're like $1,500 or more. Or they're on the other side of the country. I'll spend.
She's got a 360 she may put in that. Let's see here. I'm trying to keep up with this
and a 318.
and with what you're saying.
I got a lot of motors.
I'm thinking about your Dodge Dart.
Oh, okay.
You still got an ammeter in there, don't you? It means all that power is going to run up through the dash.
You got a
voltmeter?
It's disconnected. I don't have any meter.
Okay. So we need to put a voltmeter in it.
Wait a minute. Maybe it does have an ammeter working.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, it's only got a 20 volt or a 20 amp
System.
alternator, so it's.
Yeah. Still everything runs through right there. Okay, Mexican spec says straight bullet 140 cubic inch, which 2.3 cubic inch, 2.3 L turbo. Oh, Lima engine. It's Lima, Ohio. I'm trying to figure out what all these numbers are.
It's a lot of stuff.
3.3 liter.
They're
Thrift Power 6.
They're telling us all the wiki stuff.
Oh my God! All this liters and cubic inches and then the Windsor V8. Okay, the 302. I don't know what he's answering now. I thought there was going to be an end to that. That's right. Kim did a nice retrofit. I'd forgotten. Yes, she did. It's nice to get in that thing and start it up and look over there and see that voltmeter.
The
It's
dash
not
for
quite
my
accurate. We got to adjust the needle on that slightly, but I know what it
Oh,
means.
because it's analog. I wanted it to be analog. We could have
Yeah,
got
but
a
I mean,
digital
we just got it. Well, yeah, but I mean, that's what makes it nice. It matches everything. We just got to tweak the needle a little bit because and check it with a digital one so it's exactly right. But I know what it means, so I'm fine. Because when it's about 12.5 volts, it's reading about 12 volts. So, yeah, the needle's off a
My
little bit.
66 is a different dash panel instrument cluster, and I never worked on one before. I had to, I don't know, I gotta fix it.
Yeah, the back of the dash panel has that thin circuit that runs everything. And you know, the biggest problem we had with the Valiant was all the lights that went in there, and I changed them all to
LED.
no, I didn't want LEDs in there because I wanted them to dim.
Oh, in the instrument.
Kind of wish I would have put LEDs in them, but I didn't. And the new little clip-in things that turn, because the old ones are all crumbly and they break, I got all the wrong ones because there's two different diameters that fit in that dash, and I got the small ones, which just didn't fit nicely. So I had to buy a second set of them.
And we did finally find the right ones, and they worked good.
It's easy to find them. You just gotta. And Kim knows which ones they are. You could, if you need to know which ones they are, and you want to be sure, just send me an email at buffdelcampo@gmail.com, and I'll make sure she gets it, and we'll figure out how to get it to
I
you.
have it in my Amazon purchase history. So
She knows what the part numbers were, and they weren't expensive, and they all, because when you take them out, they crumble. The little clips that hold them in break off, and you get new ones, and they're nice, So, can't remember where I read about probably NVIDIA. That was the engines in it. Oh man, this is going fast. The ammeter should have proper wires in and out under nuts. The circuit board should only for the light in it. Yeah, I don't like all that power up there. And
that ammeter was only designed for like a 20 or 30 amp alternator. So if you're upgrading your electrical system, or if your electrical system is being taxed very bad, like if you have a lot of corroded terminals and wiring, or you've got extra lighting or something like that that's using a lot of current, you're taxing that little gauge way beyond what it was designed to do, and it becomes dangerous, in danger of melting.
Not only that, there's an inline fuse that's what do they call that? It's a fuse.
Fusible link.
It's a fusible link in the wiring harness, and you don't want to pop that because then you're going to have to cut in the wiring harness. Okay, let's see, and then watch out because people bypass those things.
Was that amp meter in my videos or your videos?
That's what the next question I was going to ask. Ooh. Tim says I'll look for that in Kim's videos. You might look in my videos. That was probably a good 7 or 8 months ago. But
it was like,
I'm not sure if it's in hers or in mine. It might be
like
split
December or something like that. We were working on
19 turbocharged was available. Okay, Mexican Spec talking about all this turbocharged stuff.
Oh yeah, they did say that they're talking all about the elusive.
What's this?
Mostly
old parts. Mostly old parts. Hello.
Hey, mostly old parts. Welcome to the stream.
Alm says, "Hey, Mop," and I'm going, "What the hell is Mop?" Oh yeah, I get it. Mostly old parts.
Okay.
What?
We're at about a little over 2 hours. It is time for me to use the bathroom because I drank coffee and I drank my Jarritos, and now I got pee.
Okay, and
I'm
still fine. I'm fine.
You hold down the fort.
Mexican Spec says,
I'll make
BRB. We interrupted his dinner.
Here, you can be.
I can be what?
We appreciate you, Mexican Spec. Thanks for being here. We don't mind you advertising. We think it's neat talking about old cars.
Okay, let's see. Kim, you have a chance. Yes, Kim fixes things. There's Buff Del Campo, and there's Kim Fixes Things. So that's her channel. Maniac. Let's see. She does, Pete. It's called Kim Fixes Things. Yep. Yeah. Pee break. Yeah, she usually takes a break during the live. Unless we're up at the shop, then she's instead of drinking her coffee and stuff, she's under the car. And she really gets to working when we're having a shop live. So let's see. Where's this going? I'd like was talking. Now I ran out of stuff to say. Okay, I'll look at some other cars. Oh, I don't really like that. Oh, you want to see dumb mistakes? Here we go. People might get a laugh out of this one. Not that I really like to make fun of the police, but when they make a mistake. I don't know if that's real or Photoshop, but it's probably real. Coffee and beer equals kidney release. Yeah, except we don't have much beer here. I drink. I'm not opposed. Neither is opposed to drinking. We just, I'm a diabetic and she doesn't drink. So, occasionally I'll have I'll go to my son's house. He's really into these craft beers and he'll give me like a shot glass with a little bit of beer in it and I'll drink it. Because I used to really like the craft beers, but it's like too many carbohydrates now.
I thought of something.
Thought of something? What, you just want to show these off or what?
Yeah.
Looks real. That's what I thought. Looks real. Kim's excited about this, and this. Oh, the green one, we can see through it because of the green screen. These are squashes came out of our garden. First vegetables out of our garden. She's all excited about it.
Yay, garden!
She's ferociously searching for
I'm gonna grind some water.
She's out there making more coffee in the, what is that thing called? Keurig machine.
Keurig machine.
And
Fresh grinds water.
she has a.
Can you believe we grew things in our own dirt?
See, in this, and
we
this.
We can eat these.
See
I'll
what
grill
happens?
them on the grill.
See, you can see through this.
Oh, it's invisible. That's
because
crazy.
it's a green screen, so you can see through it.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm brushing my hair because it's knotted from me laying on the garage floor. Oh, why do we have police on our?
Oh, because it was a silly thing that the cop did.
Okay.
Drove into this.
I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, I probably should get rid of that picture.
Tim, Uncle Tony lives a little more than an hour south of us, and
good hour and a half.
Yeah, and we could invite him, but I don't know if he would drive up here just to chat with us. And
traditionally, you don't ask people that have more subs than you do. You don't ask a bigger channel to come in. If they
Tony's
offer,
helped us out a lot. He shouted out our channels a bunch of times.
But traditionally, you don't do that. So, and he has, what, 1/3 subscribers. And I've got, like, not even 1,000. Although, I was on Uncle Tony's Sunday Night Lives for about a year and a half. And then I went back to work. I just needed to go make some money. And I went back to work. And it was supposed to be for 30 days. And it ended up being 2 years. And so by the time I get back, Uncle Tony's doing different things that didn't involve me anymore. So, just that's the way it went. Or I'd probably still be on there.
Yeah, and it's a long drive for us to go down there. And
we may go down there for something at some point.
Yeah, and Tony said, so at one point we were going to build his Valiant. We were going to turbocharge it once we got the motor put together and had it running, and we still actually don't have it all the way done because we're rebuilding the front end. So we were supposed to put a turbo in it, and Tony said he'd help us when we get to that part of it, but that he wasn't interested in doing any more stuff on that car. And there was a lot of controversy about that car, and Tony just wanted to get away from it.
Buff shouted out my Instagram channel on Tony's Lives. I don't remember that. Did I? That's okay. I guess he didn't care.
See, but Tony doesn't want to be connected to people that he doesn't really know or doesn't have any commercial affiliation with. Like, he doesn't want to do that.
Drove 8 hours to hang out with Tony. One of my favorite road trips. Oh, really? Wow. I'm trying to think of when that was. Tony, Tony decided to go out to a gas station where they have a pretty good sized lot and do his lives from there. And he invited.
This is a while ago. How many years ago?
Oh, it's like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He invited anybody that was a viewer to go down there. So I went down there, and we met, and then I did it another week, and they just kept inviting me to come back every week. So I just sit there with Tony, and I got to know him. He's a good guy, and he gave us. Eventually, he gave us a lot of stuff. He gave us, well, two guys owned that Valiant, and he gave me his part of it, and I got the other part from the other guy that owned it, paid for it, and then, but it was inexpensive, and then he gave us engine and a head that was this had water in it. I mean, it was a
granted.
It was kind of a.
It was a basket case.
It was a basket case engine, but you know what? And
we made it work. It was all there mostly.
But if you turned Tony and asked if he seen my instant tranny, he flatly said no. Oh, okay. Kathy's kind of one of the keeps up with the net. Yeah, Tony watches a lot of financial stuff, and which he shares a little bit, but they don't really want to take Tony UTG in that direction. So I think he might do a channel with financial stuff at some point. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do, but I ended up not going down there so often. But anyway, he gave us a lot of parts and gave us. He's a good guy.
And he plugged our channel a bunch of times when we were just getting started, and we still are just getting started, I suppose.
There's people that kind of don't like Tony, and I don't think they know him well. And I've been down there. I was probably 15 miles from his house, and I got stuck at night on the highway, and I called him up. Man, he was right out there. It's a good friend. Shows up on an interstate with cars whizzing by and helped me, and then followed me to a gas station. I had you know what I did? I had one of those Space Saver flat tires, and it was like this much air in it. So it was real sketchy driving to put some air in it. And he followed me there, helped me put air in it and everything. I thanked him. But that's a good guy to do that.
And in the last couple of years, there have been some times where Tony and some other person, celebrity or YouTuber or whatever, they've had disagreements.
Well,
and it was very public. And then they resolved their disagreements.
The thing with
for the most part. But people forget that it was resolved, and they keep digging up bones, as it were. Like, it's over. It's like they're done. Well, it's moved on. But people were just like, what about the thing? It's like, that's old news.
What I always say about Tony is his family those are his close friends. He's got a lot of family.
Yeah.
And people that are YouTubers, he's friendly with them, but you're not ever going to be close friends. It's business. That's his business. So if you're down there doing stuff with Tony at his shop or something, which he had that big shop, he wanted people down there, it's business. You're not his best buddy, but he's friendly and he's a good guy. So, man, I'm never going to say anything bad about Tony. He's all right.
I'll say bad stuff about Tony. Tony is horrible.
Oh,
never talk to Tony. He's the worst.
What are you doing?
No,
you're putting your stuff in, you're putting a ponytail.
Oh, you liked it all out? I
don't know. You're over there grooming. I didn't mean you had to take it out.
I brushed it out because it was all knotted and twisted. Sorry.
58 T-Bird. I really don't know if that's a 58.9 or 60.
Oh, I'll make a small again so you guys can see the cars.
Let's see. I will. I think I have pictures on either side of this. Oh, that's an ugly car.
Too many people feel the need to take sides.
That's a 59 or a 60 because the 58 had two taillights, not two taillights on each side, not three. That's a 1960 Thunderbird, and I can tell because of the grill. And it's
You missed a spot. Oh, I missed a spot. I don't know where.
Missed a spot. I don't know what you're
Darn
talking.
It. Oh, and Tony and Kiwi are arguing. They'll work it
out. I don't want to get in these little.
They'll work it out. I don't even know the details, and I don't care. Sometimes I think sometimes people intentionally hype up whatever controversy or argument because it's like good for views, but then they have to deal with all the hype, and it's no fun.
Wait a minute. It's a 3 on the tree. Mexican Spec noticed something I didn't notice. Where is it? There's no clutch. Is there a clutch pedal? No, that's an automatic. It's an automatic.
Look at you with the zoom in action.
It's an automatic on the
Bang!
tree.
That's
it's an automatic. Where's the Prindle? Where's the Prindle thing?
What, the indicator?
It must be up in here. I don't remember. It's been so long since I drove a second-gen Thunderbird. It does look like a 3 on the tree. But you go down here, and there's no clutch. So, man, but that shifter does look like a 3 on a tree. I don't know.
Does he know that?
What's this?
I don't know. They're talking. They're just.
Oh, that
having
T-Bird.
fun.
I was never sure what they were going for there. I've never seen another one Mexican. To me, the Thunderbird only had a few decent years. 55 through 7 were absolutely the best. They were the small ones. They were fun, but they sure got expensive. And I like the 58 through 60 Thunderbirds. And then Bad Chad took one of those. If you ever watch Bad Chad took one of those, cut the roof off it, shortened it way up, made a 2-seater out of it. Kind of looked like a 57, but it was a 58. No buff I was talking about. Oh, okay, something else. Was there a pre-select gimmick on pre-select, like a Tucker, like a Tucker with a pre-select gear transmission? That's an automatic. My neighbor has an earlier one that's 3 on the tree. Really? A 3 on a tree second-gen Thunderbird. Man, I always liked that body style, but I know a lot of people didn't. It was one called the Square Bird. Yeah, I just think I wouldn't mind having one of those. It was a decent car. It's just, every one I find is rusty and problems, and it's a bigger project than I want. So, and the good ones are crazy expensive. They used to be inexpensive. They got to that inexpensive point, and then they got more. I love my T-Bird Thunderbird. What was the T-Bird Thunderbird? What did I miss? Straight bullet. It's an automatic magnetor. What did I miss? I don't know.
It's way up there, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Okay, just.
I don't know. Straight Bullet said he's mad because he won't sell his factory 3x2 intake manifold. Just make one.
Console with column shifter. Kind of odd. Yeah, I think that's how those Thunderbirds were. I think they were all.
That is weird that it has a console, but the shift is on the thing.
Ford never put a shifter down there on an automatic until the Mustangs in the 80s, 60. Well, they say 64, but it was a 65 model. They're all registered as 65s. That T-shifter, they had T-shifter in the Mustangs. Before that, even the Falcons, I think, had column shift automatics. This is really strange, I had a 67 Camaro RSSS, and it had a bench seat up front, and it had a column shift automatic in a Camaro. I thought that was a strange car. I liked it. I mean, it's a freaking nice car. But is that Dallas that has that wicked T-Bird? Yes. Dallas Brown
Me.
has that. I think
We got
it's
a new person in too,
It's
Brandon.
an 88. Oh, Brandon Bartek. Good evening. How you doing? Yeah, and I have a video, one of my videos from No Name Nationals last year. So I probably published it beginning of October, maybe end of September. He does a burnout in that thing that is crazy. And he had the fastest car there last year. But this year I don't think he will, because Sly Day the Garage is going to be there, and he's got the one he calls Cookie Monster, that Dart. I think that Dart's going to be faster. 83 were pretty sexy. Yeah, and he's got that thing lighting way up. It probably weighs less than a Mustang, than a Fox Body Mustang. First gen Mustang also offered a bench seat. Yeah, I saw those too. It's just strange to me to have a RSSS Camaro with a bench seat. Oh, it had an armrest that folded down, so the seat kind of felt like a bucket seat when you're in it, but it wasn't. You could put the armrest up, and you could sit 3 people across. Oh, my 67, it was another strange thing. It had a 350. So it's the first year for the 350. I had a friend that had a machine shop. He goes, oh, that's a small Journal 350. But then I've had people tell me that they weren't, so I really don't know what it was. And it had a power glide in it, but then it had a 12-volt posi. Such a strange car. It's like, who ordered this? You know? And I didn't get it from the original owner. In fact, I got it from a friend of mine that had, he's starting to have a family and he needed a bigger car. And I had a Pontiac, I had a 67 Catalina, and I traded him straight off for it. So I ended up with a Camaro, and he ended up with a big giant Pontiac. Thing was loud, fast at No Name Nationals. Yeah, it was. That was a pretty nice car. He also got an award in that the
Engineering award?
he got the best engineered car award, and that was given by the Nelsons, which is Nivlac 57 on here, and they're all engineers and they build cars, and it's that theirs is like, really good stuff, and they gave him the best engineered car award, and he was really surprised at that. He said he spent 7 or 8 years or something building that in a shop. He's like me. He's in one of these rental shops where there's a thing on the wall to turn the lights on. It goes tick, 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 and it goes like 20 minutes and shuts the lights off. He said every time he was working, I think he's running over there and turning that thing, kept turning it back on, turn it back on, keep lighting the shop. This is going so fast, I can't keep up with it. It's like 20 people went by that are, I can't even comment on them.
Welcome, Dean.
Dean Stevenson, I see that. Good to see you here. I rebuilt a 67 Camaro RSS with a 350. Oh, it's still running car. Okay, man, it could be my old car. It wasn't gold, was it? Let's see, 67, the only Camaro got the 350. Nova got 350 in 68, and everything else in 69. It might have got 3. Yeah, it was, but I think it was a strange 350. I think that was different than the 68 and laters, but I really don't know. I don't think I have ever seen a Camaro with a bench seat. Yeah, that 67 of mine did. With a fold-down armrest. So I used to leave the armrest fold down because I put my arm on it. It kind of felt like it had bucket seats. But the shifter was up here. So strange. I haven't either after all these years. I had a client asking for it and I found 2, but to spend money fixing something else. Matt with 2 T's. Matt with 2 T's. Oh, Dean Stevenson saying Matt with 2 T's. My son Matt has 2 T's. The Matt that I worked for in California, the first guy I worked for in a shop, he was Matt with 1 T. But his last name was Mathisen, and he was from Norway, and everybody just called him Matt because they couldn't say his last name. So he had Matt's alignment. Matt's braking alignment. I worked there, little 2-stall shop with like 4 people working in there, and I learned so much from that guy. Because when you go to work for a guy like that when you're 17, he throws it at you. And I learned a lot from him. Red with black stripes. Yeah, mine was gold with a black stripe around the front of the car. Let's see. Look forward to seeing everybody at No Name Nationals 3. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. Mostly old parts. How you doing? Did I say that earlier? Maybe I did.
The Wrecking Crew. Is that the other stream that usually goes on Tuesday night? That's
No Name 3 is the 3rd annual No Name Nationals.
Oh, Mostly Old Parts is
he's there. He's
the announcer.
He's the announcer.
What's
yes.
his name again?
What's his name? I should know.
I'm sorry, we're not very smart.
I'm brain dead.
I'm
brain dead like all the druggies, except I never took the drugs. I don't know what happened. Maybe you go brain dead and doesn't have anything to do with the drugs. Only first gen Camaros. It's got the bench. Okay, yeah, I believe that. It's going too fast. It's a bit of a reference to my taste in color. I've been slumming it with the Wrecking Crew. With the Wrecking Crew? What wrecking? What are you wrecking? You're down there in New Zealand wrecking. You're not wrecking something, are you? 1T. Nothing wrong with the best colors ever. Dean, when are you coming to No Name Nationals? I know I shouldn't bug you about that because that's a difficult trip for you. We'd sure like to see you there, though. He's down in the Kiwi. You were doing these videos, these shorts, or maybe they're videos, Dean. You go out to your mailbox and come back. I was watching those. It's like, what's this all about? Cars aren't as big as money. It's boats. Oh, yeah, boats are a big money pit. So are airplanes. If you have an airplane or a boat, you got to really use it. And I used my airplane a lot, or my airplanes a lot. So they weren't such a money pit, and I used engines and, do things the way I always do them. Nobody ordered it in the front. Okay, let's see. Sport.
Dean,
banner.
were you in a different stream? Is that what you meant by the Wrecking Crew? Were you in the stream? What's the fella's name who does it all the time?
Don't change yours.
Mail function?
Oh man. Oh, the shirt. Yeah, I don't always wear the same shirt.
Go figure.
Last week, I remember last week I had the No Name National shirt on.
That's right.
Uh,
And next week I'm going to make him wear a bright green shirt so he's a floating head.
If I wear a green shirt, and I got a lot of green shirts of different kinds, camo, everything, I just disappear into the green screen, so it just looks like my head's floating around. Maybe I should do that.
That would be a fun stream. We'd just be floating heads.
And then I'll have to go change my shirt.
We could go around the screen and be like, look at this great car.
That would be kind of funny.
We should do a bit on it.
Where's my green shirt?
You know what we haven't done all night? You know where we haven't been this week?
Where?
The dining room.
The dyno room. Yeah, let's go to the dyno room.
Welcome to the dyno room.
Yeah.
Let's talk about horsepower. How many horsepowers
Campo.
do our
Airplane.
slant six
Holy crap.
darts
You're a
have?
pilot? What'd you fly? DC-3? No! I built airplanes and flew them.
Experimental aircraft.
I flew. Man, this is scrolling by so fast.
I know. It's because we have people enjoying
We have people
themselves.
in here enjoying themselves. So then, okay, I'm going to try to talk to mostly old parts. There's an airplane called the Titan Tornado. I worked there. I did a lot of the design work on it. It was probably like my project. And then I did other airplanes for the same company. And I flew those things all over the place. I also flew Cessnas, Pipers, what are the Grumman Tigers. I flew.
What was the airplane that you flew to your first air show? You flew like across the country all the way to an
some
air
little airplane.
What a story that is.
So I'm not going to
make him tell that
it.
story sometime.
Yeah, sometime. I used to use Lunar Rod to check the mailbox with my cell phone on Droid Cam. Oh, I see. Okay. Come on, do it for us, Buff. We need a good laugh. Which is this? Which is the good laugh? Oh,
I think he means
change
the
this
green
shirt. You want me to go take a break and put a green shirt on?
You need a
Okay.
bright green
You
one.
take care of this for a minute.
It.
I'm gonna go try to put a green shirt on.
All right, find the closer it is to the green screen, the better it will work. So, y'all are being so good tonight. Thank you so much for all your comments. And I know you'd like to, everyone wants to kind of shift the conversation in this direction or the other. And we like to try and follow it, but I apologize if we're not getting to your comment or if we're talking about somebody else's stuff. Please be forgiving and understanding. It is not easy. There's 20-some people in the chat, and we're all kind of going off on our own things, and we're having fun. I mean, we really are. So thank you for being here, and please understand that we can't talk about everything. We can't read every comment, but we do enjoy it. And you're welcome to make the comments, but we can't promise to follow every squirrel. Okay. It still looks like that dinosaur is taking that cloud out of that volcano. He is! I need to get some new dinosaurs, but I like the dino room. I thought it was so clever when I pulled this picture up and I'm like, we'll have a dino room. But instead of having a dino, we'll have dinosaurs. And I thought that was like the funniest thing. And, That dinosaur is that. See, that's what killed the dinosaurs was smoking cigarettes.
Okay, let's see here. This is I did the
That's
Doug
not very green.
did
Oh
the
yeah.
Did the Doug Demure thing and put like a shirt over a shirt. Yeah, you can see through me, but it's a little strange, isn't it?
Yeah. I can change it. I can make it so you're more transparent, but then it'll be really weird.
Has Buff ever flown a boy? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Is that
That
some
dinosaur
French?
just hit the bong. That's all you can, you know.
So I'm not sure if those are Buff's Choice or Duluth's. I have been in their store actually. Oh, in Duluth. Oh yeah. What do you need? I'm not. Okay, so this is a little weird. I'm not sure I like this look. Put up something else. Let's see what it looks like when I look through like a car, like my car over there. What happens when we go to there? Oh, now I'm down in the corner. Yeah, you can see the gravel behind me. Okay, Kim, this is enough of this nonsense.
Okay.
Needs more green. Yeah, I need a brighter green shirt because our well, you can show them the green screen. Okay, but you're gonna have to hold the gray shirt down. Kim, grab my gray shirt.
Grab your gray shirt. Okay, I got it. Crazy old man.
That was stuck.
Yeah, I gotta get him a fluorescent green.
Yeah. That reminds me of Michael J.
Here's
Fox
a side cam.
in Back to
Here
the
you
Future.
go. We don't have the green.
See,
filters.
that's the green color we need to be completely.
Yeah.
Okay, go back. But this hat, you can't see it because I'm not big enough.
Yeah, if we put
This
you big,
this
you can
hat
see
has
through
some
the hat.
green in it. That's my algodones Mexico. See, you can see the Thunderbird through the logo on the hat because it's got some green on it. Yeah, that green screen, it works real well because that's how we're able to put all these pictures up in the background, and it works.
It's a fun toy, right? And I use OBS Studio so that we can pull. He has a screen that I can capture, and then I have another screen over here with Google search so I can find things. So we both have our own keyboards and mice so we can capture what's going on, and then we have a big screen that shows what we're broadcasting and another big screen that shows the chat.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
It's a lot of tools. What's that?
One of the tools you have that I know you don't particularly like, but you've used it before. My throat needs a
I wonder
cough
why I
drop.
don't like it.
Because we bring a guest on.
Oh.
Would you do that again?
StreamYard.
Yeah, but you paid for it, so it doesn't have all the advertising
I
on
did
it.
pay for it, but you know what? We were only using it once a month, and it was really a lot of extra stress and a little bit of extra expense, and we got the same.
That's why I'm going to ask you, would you mind doing that again?
No. Who would you
Okay,
like to have
well,
on as
I'm
a
going to
guest?
present this to everybody. We've got 22 people in here. Would somebody like to be on here next week? Next Tuesday night, come in here, and you'd be on StreamYard, but you'll look just like you're next to Kim or next to me, and you'll be sitting here talking with us.
side
And
by
what
side.
you need is a camera that's pointed toward you, and we'll send you a link, and you click on the link, and then you're on here with us.
Preferably, you've
And-
done some.
And if
You
a
have
couple,
some experience with what's going on here, that you know how to use your phone's camera. Maybe you have a thing that you can prop it up easily because you don't really want to have to hold it for any amount of time.
Danny
if you're a
Boyd,
little prepared.
we had the T-Bird up there for like an hour. He's just noticing. Yeah, it's a 1960. He'd been in a big old conversation with Mexican Spec, I guess. But that's okay. That's what you're here for. You have all this interaction going on.
Most old parts, it is like Back to the Future fading away. But
So-
we got him back. We got him back. The time continuum is corrected.
Tavo, I know what time it is. I bet it's quarter after here and quarter till there. No, it's the other way around. It's quarter till here and quarter after there. So Tavo is in Australia and he's on his lunch break.
Tavo is our Aussie friend, and he has some Hemi 6s. We are jealous because he has the Hemi 6.
You know-
and we never got it here in the U.S.
People here, we brought this up the other night, is that they talk about the Hemi 6 cylinder engine, Chrysler 6-cylinder, and if you go into Tavo's Tavo's channel, and maybe Mexican Spec can put up a link to it, and sub to his channel. But he's did a lot of videos, or maybe a couple of videos. I don't remember how many. I learned a lot about that engine though from Tavo. So that's a pretty interesting thing he does there. So yeah, he has a channel, and he does the he has some stuff about that 6-cylinder. What are you doing?
Tim asked a question. I'm gonna go get him an answer. I'll
Okay.
be right back.
So, Todd Aspideri, I don't know what this. Dean, you always have all these words that are just. Tavo, there you go. There's Tavo's channel. Mexican Spec put up a link to it. Go sub to his channel, and then look at his videos about the 6-cylinder, and then you also get to see some of the other Aussie stuff, like the Utes, which are like they're like Valiants or Darts, but they're like an El Camino. They're a utility. They're a pickup that's on the Valiant or the Dart body, which is pretty cool. Very similar in many ways to AMC6 with the hemispherical chambers.
Okay, let me answer Tim's question while I got it in my head.
See, Pete's going to go there. But
Movie Maker Video Editor Pro is what it officially calls its name.
Is what?
What we can use? I bring it up in a sec? Oh,
you can't use anything on that.
Why? Is this your...
you want to... Okay, let go. What do you want to do? You want to bring up my...
Can you open Movie Maker on the other screen? I am doing it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Look.
I don't know.
Listen.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I don't know if it'll work. It will. Haha, there it is.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. I got it from here. This is what it... Oh, you can't see it. I gotta move it.
What? You gotta move what? Okay.
That's what our video editing software looks like. And it is inexpensive. But it does have a lot of features, like you can trim stuff, you can split videos, you can join videos. If you create a project, you get a bunch of different features that... It's great beginner stuff. I'm not saying it's like good, but it's for a beginner. It's very stable. If you have MP4 videos to work with, it don't crash. You can do a lot with it for not very much money. It's a great place to start, in my mind, in my experience, and then, build on that. I have to get my credit card. All right. See, I should be a salesperson for Microsoft. Okay. We can go back. I'm sorry. We'll go back to... that was a complete side quest. I'm trying to help Tim. He wants to have some video editing software. He was trying to use one of the major ones that has... It's overwhelming. Too much for the average Joe Schmo car person to just jump into DaVinci. I mean, you can do amazing things with DaVinci, don't get me wrong. I used to know some other software. What did I use? I used some other software. It was good, but then they started charging me by the month, and I couldn't justify it. I've never made any money off of YouTube, so to be spending $20, $30 a month for video editing software, it was just like, no, I can't do this.
I asked the question, and I didn't get any answer.
Sorry,
I don't think, because I was up and down and scrolling by. Who wants to come on here?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Dean, I'd love to have you on as a guest, or Alan, or Tim's, or Tim72 Demon, or Pete, or Mexican Spec won't do it, because he's done it on other people's. You just see a green screen. But... I don't know what Dean's saying here. Once you go to Movie Maker, you cannot merely downgrade. I don't know. Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if you can roll it back, but I swear to goodness, it's like...
But if anybody wants to be on here next week, let us know and we'll set it up. if nobody wants to be on here, it's kind of a hassle to set up.
It's extra work, yeah.
But once we set it up, it's kind of fun having people on, you know.
It is.
And if Tavo wants to come on, you're welcome to come on for your lunch break. That's pretty funny. Got to rush off to lunch for a half an hour to be on Alive in America.
If we try to do Tavo, I don't know how well the lag between the distance. You got to think knows? The distance of that, how many hops that signal has to cross.
God, I don't know. I used to do that stuff in Afghanistan to here, or to Arizona.
We could try, Pete.
It worked
we could
very
try. Well. StreamYard's pretty easy. But if you've never done streaming, it can be overwhelming. So
yeah, you'll click on a link and then you'll pop up here. You just have to have a camera facing yourself and a microphone. You definitely have to have your camera mounted and a microphone, and then it's going to ask you if you want to allow it to use your stuff, and you have to confirm yes, and it's not so hard. Tavo said he'd do it on a weekend stream. Man, that
okay.
That means we got to do it from here. We
can't do StreamYard in the shop. Or maybe one of our late night streams.
Can we do the StreamYard in the shop?
Yeah, it's the same.
Well, that'd be kind of interesting. Tavo would be in the shop with us. That'd be really strange, but it'd be fun. Yeah, we might do that on a weekend, and then we're up there in the shop in the middle of the night, which is the middle of the day for you. So, yeah, like normally when we're up there working late in the evening. I forget what time it is, like noon or something down there for him. Down there, you know, the world could be this way, and we don't know it. He may be up and we're down. You know, if you're in a spaceship and you weren't from Earth and you're coming in, how would you know if it's this way or this way?
What are you talking about? The Earth is flat.
No, the Earth is not flat. I am not a flat earther.
He's been in airplanes.
But clearly, when you look at the sun, you can see it's flat.
The sun is flat.
Okay.
Look at the solar flares. It only makes sense.
It's pretty good. I run through the cemetery in real time with Auto Salvage Outlaws and Rich 220 and One-Eyed Cat and Tall Garage. What is this? Pete's Custom Car Shop. Oh, well, I don't know what he's LOLing about. Maybe my Earth. I can't be that way, Buff. You had a headache with all that blood rushing in my head.
If we were
I couldn't believe
down.
it. What one was it? It was in... well, Mexican Spec isn't he either up or down? He's like kind of sticking out the side because he's a lot closer to the equator than we are. Yeah, it's so funny. I think it was in Tony's live. You were in there, and they're trying to tell you you're part of South America. In Mexico, they're trying to tell him he's part of South America. He's not even in Central America. Jeez. Let's see. Rich 220 banned meat for bad taste. Vegemite and kiwi fruit. Nothing wrong with kiwi fruit. Man, I went to Russia in 1997, and it was after the Soviet Union, and it was everybody's dirt poor, and the food was kind of not like here where you can just buy whatever you want. But you know what? They had kiwi fruit. Everywhere I went, they had kiwi fruit. Really surprised me. In the cold old Russia in the middle of the winter time.
Where do they grow kiwi fruit?
They are importing it from somewhere. Somebody was bringing it in. They had to be. Because it was, yeah. I was 60 degrees north latitude in Russia, and it was like freezing cold. There's kiwi fruit everywhere. And then when I worked in Yuma, out at the test site, we had people from down under out there sometimes, and they bring this Vegemite with them. It's like, that's an acquired taste. Till Buff's hat falls off. Wait till my hat falls off? Yeah, because I'm on the wrong side of the Earth. We might be orbiting the sun vertically. Yeah, that's true too, you know. Like everybody, the sun's here and we're going like this, so everybody's sideways. Tony doesn't do geography well. Yeah, I've noticed. He knows like between Tennessee and New York and then all along the Great Lakes states, because that's where he traveled for with all his racing stuff when he's doing the top fuel dragsters. Okay. He's like Robin the Frog Muppet. He's not on the bottom. He's not on the top. So this is the stairs. He stops. Kiwi, yuck. You don't like kiwi. Kiwis are good.
Brought from Turkey. That makes sense. I knew there had to be some... We lost our connection.
Lost our connection? Did we?
We came back.
Oh, did we lose everybody? Is everybody still there?
You know what? YouTube might just pave over the drop because we were
Oh,
still
because
recording. It might have reset it.
We were off, I think.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I don't know. I missed a whole bunch
You know what?
of.
It says we didn't drop any frames.
Okay, so I don't know what happened.
Wow. Okay,
Tony
sorry,
often
that's
believes
never
he's-
happened, so it threw us off.
I lost all the. Can you scroll back a little bit?
No.
I can't keep
Go
up with this.
fast.
Something about this. Okay, what's this? A lot of stuff in Russia is brought up by Turkey. Oh, it could be.
That
It's-
explains where kiwis would come from
well,
in
in,
Russia.
well, in some of the southern republics from the old Soviet Union, that it's okay. We're all south of the border. Yes, you're all south of the border. It's okay. I'm trying to do this. Got the Movie Maker Pro on my PC now. Oh, okay, Tim. Just learn how to use it.
Good luck, Tim.
And
I wish I could
you
be
know
there
what?
to talk you through
Well,
it. Maybe we'll do a little tutorial.
He's a 40-year computer engineer or something. He ought to be able to handle that.
Just start small. Start with one video, and just
Yeah, piss
start
around with
a
it.
project.
Piss around with it. You'll figure it out.
There's a lot of things to learn, and I mean,
yeah.
I've been at it for a couple years.
And
If you get stuck on something specific, send me a message.
And kiwi fruit isn't even kiwi. It came from the Pacific Islands. That's right. It's a Chinese gooseberry. The local grocery store here sometimes looks like Cold War Soviet Union. Oh my God, that can't be that bad. Well, what happened? Oh man. Okay. I guess you're just gonna have to. I'm gonna just miss a bunch of. Just go down because I'm gonna miss a bunch of them. Still seeing and hearing you. 10-4. There was no interruption in service. Man, we had an interruption here. So somehow YouTube just smoothed it over.
They fixed it. Well, we're using OBS Studio to broadcast with it, and it's good stuff. It's very reliable, and I am so grateful that it's available to
Just a
us.
simulation. Please do not adjust. Yeah, this is just a simulation. Please do not adjust.
Well, that's how we can just be invisible. We're actually just a simulation.
Yeah, okay. This is silly. Genetically changed to be bigger. I believe I could trust kiwi with any car I love. You might want to go too picky though. Oh, you mean like kiwi, the kiwi that's in
Meticulous.
Central what am I trying to say, in Middle Tennessee? Buff, your
I believe
parcel
you would be
landed in
meticulous.
California Saturday. Just stuck. Hey, do you have a? Now I'm going to ask you for a traffic number. Wrong.
Tracking
Number, and you could just, if you have a chance, send it my email at buffdelcampo at Gmail. I was going to say Google. buffdelcampo at gmail.com. Then I can watch it. I can watch it move across the country. Dean Steves, we had the Twilight Zone marathon on TV here. I like the white dot on the screen. You can control the vertical. I'll do the horizontal. It's not a marathon. It's like stroke. You have a buffer, so you are ahead of us. Oh, you can slide the red line over. Is that what happened? I can look on mine and see if that happened.
We didn't drop any frames, so it must have been buffering. I mean, the nice thing about a chat-based
it looks
stream
fine
is
here.
it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, it can take a minute for us to respond, and you don't notice it. But if we were trying to communicate, you would have noticed. If it was a telephone, you'd have noticed a big cutout.
Mexico Spec, are you cheating on me with another parcel sender? Tavo sent me something. I don't know what it is.
Step up your game, buddy. We got people sending us stuff
Free
from all over
stuff.
the world.
The first person ever sent me anything, just send it to me out of the blue, was Mexican Spec. Sent me license plates. That was really cool.
That was cool.
I didn't know what was coming. I just knew there was a tracking number, and when it got here, we made a video of me going out like making a beeline for the mailbox. Well, he knew I liked license plates, and I'd mentioned one time I didn't have any Mexican license plates, but I wasn't really looking for him to send me some, but it was really cool that he did, couple of my most cherished license plates. Can't compete with you, Mexican
He likes
spec.
when people send stuff.
It's not cheating, it's outsourced to a willing competitor. Well, that pace car is a Cobra. Oh, what are you looking? Oh, you got other stuff up there now. He's got there before mine. Just well, you put different pictures up. I don't know why you had Movie Maker up, and then you went to that. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
what
you can
you're
get rid of Movie Maker.
I don't know
Put
why
something else
I don't
up.
know why you did that. Yeah, I got to figure out how to do that now. Can I get it out of there?
Just
Yeah,
exit.
because yeah, I'm going to. He already got Movie Maker, and why does that look funny? I don't know. The back of the car is cut off. Don't know why. I got John Wilburn's letter and a sticker from No Name Nationals. I checked the stamp for LSD tabs. Jeez. Hope no drugs.
This ain't the Grateful Dead.
Oh, God. Yeah. I worked with a guy in Ohio, and he went to a Grateful Dead concert. Yeah,
I love Amazon. I order from Amazon frequently.
I won't tell the story.
Sorry. Got distracted.
I know, but it's not a nice story.
Oh, don't tell bad stories.
It's a drug story from somebody else that ended up locked up.
Oh yeah, don't.
Well, he's stupid. He's got LSD with him, leaving a Grateful Dead concert, and he's driving at night with his headlights off, and he's drunk. What do you think's going to happen?
Drunk people messing with LSD. The story doesn't end good.
So Dean Stevenson's out of here. Got to run through the cemetery and run home. Battery at 2%. 2%? Isn't it sunny down there right now? You solar collector and hook it to your phone. All right. Thanks for being here, Dean. Take care.
Thanks, Dean.
Let's see. Where we at? We got Thunderbird. What else do I have? What else can I put up besides Thunderbird? Some other Ford product. Because I'm in the Ford section here. What is this thing? What is this thing? Oh, that's a Ford, but Mexican spec especially is not going to like this because it's modified. I think I might have put that up before.
Yeah.
What's this one?
I don't know. That's a little sketchy.
That's sketchy. Sketchy car. I can't drag. It won't drag. Why does it stop dragging? Yeah, what is that thing? What is that thing?
Is that?
Somebody,
That's not a production car,
it's like
is
a
it?
Ute, except it's just got a big long trunk.
Is that somebody's customized
I think
thing?
so. Dent side. What's dent side? Do you have a 66? Oh, of course I have a 66 Tornado. That could be my favorite body design. It could be my favorite body design.
You know what though, Danny Boyd? It was probably just junk parts that somebody spliced together because nobody would cut a nice car like that up. So somebody probably got, it was probably rusted from the center down into the ground and they took the roof and they used it to fabricate something neat. So I like that.
Well, here's a Tornado, but it's not a 66. But I'm going to see if Mexican Spec knows what this is. I bet he does. He knows everything about cars. Okay, Mexican Spec, what is this? And then I'll find a 66. Where's all my 66?
Salesman sedan, he says, is what that car is. Or she says that big trunk car was.
Oh, it's some kind of a thing, yeah.
Interesting.
Where is it? They didn't make that in that year, no. I think he's still talking about where are all my 66 Tornado pictures? Where are all Tornado pictures? Maybe I like them so much that I'm tired of them. Don't have them on my thing here. What's this? Oh, this is 66, but this is a pre-66. I can't grab it. Why won't it grab? There. Okay, here we go. That's before 66. You can see the wheel covers. That's a pilot car, pre-production pilot car, but it's a 66 Tornado. '66 Tornado's my favorite one. It had the dash, it had the steering wheel, had the little eyebrow headlights. It had it all, man. What a great looking car that was. In '67, they had to mess it up. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, look up '66 Tornado. I mean, it's just. Yeah, you know what's funny about Jay's? Jay's is a '67 Tornado. You see it when they built it. It's a '67, and they put '66 front end with the eyebrow lights and changed it over to the steering wheel, and they got rid of that '67 steering wheel. But I bet you if you look up Jay Leno's, it's registered. If there's a way to do it, it's registered as a '67, but it's a 60. He made it all look like a '66. Yeah, there you go. It's got the eyebrow headlights. Man, is that, and it's got that steering wheel, that red car there, that steering wheel, that's 1 year thing. Yeah, and the flat floor. What a great car that was. Yeah, there's a good picture of the eyebrow headlights. I think that's some real artwork. And sadly they don't do that. Yeah, there's Jay. That's Jay Leno's. And he's got 66 taillights in it too. But that was built from a '67. But he calls it a '66. But I watched him build that. Jay's Toro loses points for having a Chevy engine in my book. Oh, yeah, it's a rear driver now. It's got a LS engine in it.
Why?
Why what?
No.
Why what?
I think that's an utter mistake. Why would you take a car that was designed to be a front-wheel drive muscle car and then turn it into a rear-wheel drive muscle car? I think that's a mistake.
Because Jay Leno, you see him out on, I don't know, they're on some oval, and he's got 4 people in the thing, and they got the windows rolled down, and they're cruising along at 120 miles an hour, and he pushes the gas down, and it takes off. He goes, if a Bentley were built in America, this would be it. He's a fast cruiser, and that's what he wanted. And
Okay.
yeah, it's a pretty nice car. Yeah, it's not an original. It's not an original car. Let's see. Someday may have built for purpose. It was gone by that time. Okay, I don't know what. Him because he's Jay Leno. Yeah, he can do what he wants. I like his jet motorcycle. I like his jet car that was original,
Okay.
which was the turbine car, Chrysler turbine car. What are you looking at,
How about
Ranchero?
this deal?
What
Did
the
you
hell
see
is that?
the new Junkyard Digs?
No.
They revive a Ranchero, and it's got this bed cover with a rear window, but it's like kind of like a trunk cover.
Oh, I don't know.
It's hideous, but it's very unique.
Just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
When we saw that really big back end, like that car with the enormous trunk was like.
Strable. I don't think I ever heard anyone call a Tornado a muscle car.
I
No,
thought
it
they were
wasn't.
real tire burners.
No, they're front drive. They're a big luxury car. There's the best looking Ranchero, the '72. That's right behind your head. Got that big oval grill.
Mm-hmm.
I love '72 Torinos and Rancheros. Keystone Classics on that car. Yeah, I almost bought Keystone Classics for my '64 Ford, and I ended up putting those. I don't know what they called them. I forget what they call them. The Mustang wheels. Yeah, that's a pre-production '66 Tornado. Wrong wheel covers and a couple other little things, but that's what do they call it? A pilot car. I don't know where all my '66 Tornado stuff is. I have
Front wheel drive dirt modified. Is that a class, Pete? Like, do they have a class where they race those cars?
front wheel drive dirt modified. Oh, like a dirt car? Front drive? I don't know if did they ever do that?
Really hard to rotate properly, Pete. I don't know how it would rotate.
You never carry much for Keystones.
Never done that.
Man,
kind of
Keystones are one of those things. Is like I liked them, and then I didn't like them, and then I did like them, and I didn't like them, and then I didn't buy them. I bought something else that looked really good on that '64 Ford. I can't think of what those wheels are called. That look at '67 Ranchero, Ford steel wheels or something. Not bed cover, yeah, steel wheels. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to see them, but you're scrolling so fast I can't see.
Oh, you want to? Okay.
Man, I don't know. They're so tiny.
And I know. And then they put the fancy wheels on the.
Yeah, they're all aftermarket wheels. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Those look more like Boranius. I don't know what those are. Okay, I just the floor. Yes, USMTS, IMCA, Wisoda. I don't know what all that is. Asking Aussie what a Torino is. Answer would be a red two-door, big white stripe. Well, you can swing that way. Transfer for a point. I never bought a set of wheels except extras.
Like
that I took
this?
apart. No.
I usually am really good at finding things, but this.
Put up their factory. Oh, you put up their factory. Put steel wheels. Steel up there in your description. Put steel wheels. Maybe it'll find them.
Probably if I put them for sale.
Okay, see the green car? See the green car?
This one?
I think it's got them. It's those. That's them. That's the wheels I put on my 64 Ford when I was going to buy Keystones, and then I thought about buying Kragers and Keystones, and then I bought those because a friend of mine had a Ranchero.
Whoa.
He had a Ranchero, and he put something else on his Ranchero, and I bought those from him, and I thought it looked really good on my 64
Like this
Ford.
kind here?
No, that's off a Cougar. That's a Mercury set. See, they're a little different.
Okay.
They're a little different.
Like these ones?
Nope, that's a Mercury. See, they're filled in. The Mercury's filled in. The Ranchero's not filled in. That's something else. That's some aftermarket stuff. I don't know.
Well, damn it!
Oh, scroll back up. Slow down. Up a little more. Up a little. That one right there behind my head. That's those.
A little better picture of it.
Yeah, I had those on my 64
Oh,
Ford,
man.
but the caps are missing. I had the
1,000
caps.
miles of chat have scrolled by. That
I
we've
know.
missed.
I know. We're missing all the chat. I'm sorry. Put a set of OEM slots for my truck. Man, I had my last Pinto wagon had nice big, like 12-inch wide slotted mags on the back and like 10s or something on the front. And then I had them anodized gold. Man, did those look good on that. It was a black Pinto, kind of nose down a little. Man, I like that car.
What do you guys think of the wheels that I got on the Dart? On the back of the Dart now. They came off that Ranger.
Oh, I got to bring that up.
Can you bring it up?
Yeah, I can bring it up.
Is it still on the screen deep?
I don't know. It's deep in here, maybe. Look at all the crap we looked at. Okay, so then I gotta do this, this, and this. Nope.
Back the other
Go
way.
the other way.
Because I know there was a picture there. Bruce Culkin has a 67 Ranchero.
That's what she has in the back of the Dart. I have a 67 Ranchero. Oh, yeah, that's the first year of the mid-size Ranchero. What do you call it? The Fairlane. It's or the Torino. Same thing as a Torino or the Fairlane. 428 Cobra Jet Ranchero. Man, can you imagine a 428 Cobra Jet and a Ranchero? That would burn tires no matter what you do. Yes, it changed the personality of the car. Where's Danny Boyd? What did he say? Yeah, I don't know. The stuff that starts rusting, right? Joe Friday era Fairlanes. Joe Friday era Fairlanes. Yeah, those things. They were okay. That was also the first of the... No, that wasn't. That was just before the Torinos. It was the Fairlanes that were just before the Torinos. Torinos started in, what, 68? 68, I think.
I mean, wheels and tires can really change the character of a car. And those, I mean, I didn't buy those. They came with the Ford, and I needed to change wheels because the bolt pattern changed. Now, this is a favorable bolt pattern because this is the later small bolt Dodge. instead of the 5-on-4, it's the 5-on-4.5, which is an incredibly common bolt pattern. It's an excellent thing to move to because you can get rims and tires and all different sizes that fit that bolt pattern. But I have no idea what I want to put on the car.
Where's my? There it is.
I'd rather have factory steel wheels with dog dish hubcaps. I could do that, but I don't have wheels. I don't
And
have
there,
the wheels.
you see what she has on the front. It's the original 13-inch, and we got to put brakes and
They look very
Chain.
classic on the car.
change to have the 14-inch, the bigger wheels. I mean, if you can call 14 big, I mean, compared to the 13, they look big. But that's just a set of wheels that were with that on that truck. They
Ranger.
were on that Ranger.
And the tires are beat, so I need to do something anyways. I'm just curious what people think of. Maybe I'll make a poll on. I've heard that putting polls on your channel is a good way to drive engagement because everybody needs to drive engagement.
There are people that do polls that I watch their
Supposedly, it's a good way to get people
did
interested.
you guys get any factory 14 on 4-inch pattern there?
Yes, his car's got them.
What? What's a 14x4?
Your Valiant has 14-inch tires, and they are the 5-on-4-inch bolt pattern.
Are they?
72.
So we could take
Came
my
out with
wheels
them factory.
and put them on the front of yours.
Yeah, and we'd have bigger tires. But
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh, okay. Well, I mean, to go to
But then you
no-name
wouldn't have-
nationals, oh, my tires are crap anyway. You still
well,
gonna
yeah,
need to buy
but we could
tires.
get new tires on your wheels and put them on, and it would make more sense. But we
Will
have
those-
13-inch tires
Will
now.
those fit on my car?
Yes, because I think
Okay.
you have the small
Okay.
brake drums.
Not that I want to drive it around. I just want to make it sure we can move it around on the property.
Actually, it might fit on the rear, but not the front.
Oh, that
It
we have
depends
to
on the
swap
size
them
of the
around.
drums. Wasn't your car the 9-inch drums on the front?
They were small, yes.
It'll fit on your car.
So we have a set of wheels then that we can get the no-name nationals. They're the right size wheels, and you can get
tires.
some booming outside. We can get 14-inch tires for your car to drive some distance. And,
Yeah, get on the highway and
and
feel okay with.
well, and when you get there, you probably want to run this thing down the track a couple of times just to do it. And when they look at the tires, they aren't like 26 years old and all cracked.
You're gonna get called out. You're gonna have to drive something.
Oh,
It's okay. All you have to do is go
out there
cut a
and-
light, and go down a track. Right. It's just as easy as merging
And
on the highway.
I did the 8th mile in 15 and a half seconds. Yeah, I'd do it.
It'll be faster.
I've never been on a drag strip, so I
It'll
guess
be faster than 15. Somebody give me an ET,
you know-
8th mile ET for a stock slant 6 with a 3-speed with 345 gears.
all your Valiants are 14-inch right back to the road toads. Really? Man.
Oh.
Probably have a set of slots on my truck, OEM Ford slots. Okay, our Valiant. Okay, nothing wrong with
And
torque Chris.
just to mess with the tire guy, right? One wheel has left-handed threads.
Oh yeah, 'cause you got the Ford rear end that has normal right-hand threads, and up front you still have
Right
the
hand on
left hand.
one side and left hand on the other.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I bought my first set of 5x4 Krager SS Mags for my Demon at a local speed shop down the road from Streetsboro, Ohio.
A good set of those Kragers is a pretty rare find,
Man, I used to really like Kragers.
especially a set of front runners.
Oh, two guys that
Summit
started
Racing,
us.
yeah.
I know where that place is. Yeah, that's in the Akron area. Better tell him, Kim, or he'll zap them until he breaks them. What's that? Better tell him, Kim, or he'll zap. I don't know what he's talking about.
Zap?
Yeah, Mexican spec. I don't know what he's talking about. Him. Who's him, and what's that mean?
Oh, tell the tire guy about the left-handed threads.
He'll
just pound them till he busts them
He'll
off.
break the studs off. I understand.
I
what
could
you
just
mean.
knock those studs out and put right-handed ones in, but the thing of
Well-
it is the front end needs rebuilt, and we want to match so that
you
the
know what we'll
tires
do?
can move front to back.
We'll throw the wheels in the back of the Jeep and take them to the tire store, or we'll do them here. I mean, we got a tire machine. It's a manual one, but we got.
We
a tire
still have a
machine.
lot to do
Yeah, I know.
getting vehicles
And we could go down
sorted.
to that. Remember the guy, the shop that we stopped in I don't know, down south somewhere. We got stuck one day with a flat tire in.
On the trailer, we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
down
we were
in
in that-
Murfreesboro.
Well, no, we were on. No, not that one. What's the town just south of here?
Oh, when we were in Dixon.
Dixon, and we got a flat or something happened. So we went in this tire shop, and man, they took care of us so fast. And we got talking to him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, my cousin or brother or something has a shop up there in Clarksville." Then we went to that shop. Now they've moved, but I know where the place is. But that's where we should go and get them to mount the tires. They're reasonable cost, and they get right on stuff. Nice guys, So we could go up there and do that. But I don't mind taking the wheels up there to them, They started in Stowe, Ohio. I didn't know that. What's the other one that's up there? There's Summit. What's the other one? The one we have all the stickers for that I can't think of. The yellow stickers. The other big Ohio auto parts store. Kim.
I'm sorry.
I got
Auto parts store in Ohio.
Yeah, it's a
Performance stuff?
yeah. There's Summit and there's another one. Of course, somebody Jegs.
Jigs?
Yeah, Jegs.
Is
They're
that
up
from
in the-
Ohio too?
Yeah, they're up in that same.
They love performance in Ohio.
Same neck of the woods. Yeah, So I've dealt with both of them. I've dealt more with Jegs than I have Jegs. Actually, I dealt more with Jegs than I did with.
I think that
The
big
other
box of transmission parts came from Jags. They had all the stuff I needed, so I ordered it.
Oh, the name's from Summit County. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Summit and Jegs. See, when I was, it's a whole story. When I was out in Arizona, we needed fuel cans, and so we needed a whole bunch of stuff. And Jegs really had the best price and the best stuff, and I ordered a ton of stuff from Jegs for the airplanes. We didn't tell them we were using drones, so we get it. And I've had they don't leave me alone now. I get every ad from them. They've never stopped. I've never bought from Jegs, always Summit. Huh. I bought from both of them.
Summit sent us their catalog.
That's why? Because I bought so much stuff from them.
Not sponsored.
When I was in the military.
Oh no, this is because I bought a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's
or no,
you too.
Yeah, because this one came in my name.
Oh, okay.
Summit Racing.
Yeah.
It's fun to
Oh,
just
it's Jegs that I bought so
look
much from.
through stuff. They've got cylinder heads. They've got oil pans,
Rods.
gauges. This is
Pete's,
like
okay.
a starter,
Pete,
performance starters.
Thanks for letting me join in. Hey, you come in any time. You're welcome. Love the
HEI
live feed.
distributors. Oh, thanks for being here. I hope we can come back. We're here on Tuesdays, and sometimes we do late night streams out in the shop.
Yeah, Adam says he's bought from both too. Actually, I haven't dealt much with Summit, but when I did, they're very helpful. Both those places have been helpful with me.
Check out Pete's Custom Car Shop channel. Harass him. Tell him to try and schedule to go to No Name Nationals. He'll have a good time there. He'll want to come back because we're cool people and it's a lot of fun. Tell him he wants to have fun. Although not everybody can get off of work. Working people, it's hard to take a big weekend like that. It's like, how many vacations can you get?
Look who just showed up. John Wilburn.
John's here. Welcome to the
We've been
stream,
talking
John.
all about No Name Nationals, and then you showed up. We really needed you. That's the guy you see
His
about.
ears were tingling.
That's the guy you see about No Name Nationals. Okay, so
John, we tried to go to your Square
John,
site earlier, and it was not working.
we need John to post the link for No Name Nationals, the one that works, because we couldn't make that happen.
We clicked on it, and
I
it
don't
was
know.
just crashing.
I don't know what we were doing,
It's probably fine now.
or it was the wrong
Time of day.
or the wrong place.
No, I went on, searched it, and
I
clicked,
don't
and it just wouldn't go.
And got a link for Pete's if he wants to enter. Yeah, you had that link, didn't you?
Yeah, throw Pete up there. He seems like a good guy. We
Oh
were
yeah, but
enjoying
he's
it,
the one
so-
that really needed that. Now he left.
Yeah, he's
he
gone.
just
Don't worry
left.
about
He
it too
just
much.
left. And Don's here. Okay, what are you doing?
I don't know. Click a different picture. I'm sick of looking at it.
You're sick of looking at your dart?
Just that angle is getting stale.
I can't make it happen. Okay, so now we got this mess. That's a mess.
We'll go back to that.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to pull up.
Whatever you like.
I gotta
I'm
pull
going
up
to
another
read the
picture.
chat.
You read the chat while I look for
Tavo,
pictures.
thanks for stopping in.
Tavo's taking off? Oh yeah.
Have a
Is
good
he
afternoon
taking
at
off?
work.
Is he taking
yeah,
off?
he just said
Oh yeah,
yes.
it's the end of his lunch. It's the end of his lunch.
We tried to link earlier and it was just not working. I'm going to click on John. It was not working earlier.
Okay, see what comes up. Yeah, make it happen.
I'm waiting. It's just going around in a little circle, John.
Just going around circles, spinning, spinning, spinning. Nothing's happening.
You need to call the Square People's customer service and be like, "What's up?" And I'll bet you they don't answer the phone because they're busy trying to fix their stuff.
Oh,
Yep, site can't be or I'll bring it up. This is what I get when I go there. Oop, that's Jay Leno. Can't be reached. Broken, John. So, these things happen.
okay.
Hopefully they can work it out, John.
I'll zoom that out, or maybe you can make us smaller.
No. Oh, us smaller? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's side camera.
Tim says the link works. It's loading for them. Why isn't it loading for us?
I guess we shook it straight.
We
Shook it out.
we got
It was working.
we can't make that work.
This is the link that John sent.
Well, it works for everybody else.
I don't know. Maybe we're in the wrong place.
And we're just spinning.
I bet you have a typo. I clicked your link, John.
We clicked your link, so I don't think there's a typo. But it works for them.
It's some kind of network issue. It's a DNS issue. And you know what? That'll sort itself out in a day or two.
Okay, that Nova there, or Chevy 2, belongs to a friend of mine. Actually, two friends. Mark and Kimberly Panos, and they're in South Carolina, I think. Now, they were in Utah for a long time. But that's their car. What are you doing?
It's the same link.
You get my scroll back.
What? What did I do?
You stop the... There. Nexus link in chat works. Oh, it's Mexican spec. Oh, it's not.
Mexican spec does the same thing.
It does the
comes up
same
with
thing
error.
for us. I don't know what there's some disconnect between us and that. I don't know what the problem is.
When I type in no name nationals, it tries to take me to your Square site.
Oh,
It does
the same-
redirect to the Square site, but then the Square site
It does the
gives
same
me
thing.
this error message.
It does the same thing.
And when we tried to do it earlier, it was doing it too. And then I went to the Facebook and, anyways,
Yeah, this is their Nova.
probably works most of the time, John. I know it's like beyond.
I don't know why.
It's out of your pay grade to make that Square site stuff work every day of the year.
I don't know why that. Yeah, because I've gone in there many times and it always worked. The rest of us are, yeah, as long as the rest of you getting it, that's good. Yeah, this is a guy named, it's another couple that met at a drag strip, Mark and Kimberly Panos, and they were racing Volkswagen, whatever they call them, rails or something, and they met at the drag strip, and they've been married for years now, and they're both pilots. I met them because of the airplane world, and then I find out they're doing this stuff, and Kimberly sent me these pictures, I don't know, a couple of months ago. Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Mexican spec.
It just doesn't work.
It is working, but it isn't always working. It could be our network. It could be a problem with who do we link to?
Oh, it's a local.
Anyways,
It's local play.
we have fast internet. You see, it's working. We have fiber, but
We
that
have
doesn't.
fiber.
DNS is very complicated technical.
We have fiber
stuff.
that's fast. So I don't know what the issue is. Something's goofed up. We'll have to.
Okay, let's
we'll have to
change the
mess
subject.
We'll
It's
have to mess
boring.
with it later. as long as everybody else can get it.
Mhm.
Yeah, 66 and 7 Novas. I don't know which this is. I think it's a 67. Um, they have a bunch of cars. Yeah, look at that. That's not stock. Rack and pinion underneath it. And there's the...
Oh, remember we were testing the steering from the on the Ranger? I was turning the steering back and forth, and the steering knuckles were just going like this, and the wheels weren't because the tie rod ends are blown out.
Okay.
Gonna have to get new tie rod ends for whatever goes on that frame.
Yeah.
Everyone in Tennessee is blocked. That's right. They don't want Tennessee going to John Square site. Ew.
I don't know why we're blocked.
It's just error.
It's an error.
I don't even want to think about it. It's like way beyond my control. That's a beautiful car.
This one?
Wow. That's Chevy.
Okay, I'll put the beautiful car up there.
That's pretty too.
What is that, a 49 Chevy, I think? Yeah, we'll leave that up there for a few minutes.
Okay.
Looks like dollars. Oh, which one looks like dollars? The,
Oh yeah, I'll bet that was expensive.
Yeah,
The blue car.
yeah, that... 66 ran a low 9s a quarter. He sold it. Upgraded Mopar powered Camaro. You know, Mark and Kimberly Panos have moved from Utah to, I think, South Carolina. So they're out there kind of in your neck of the woods now. So they'll probably end up racing somewhere, some track, you know. You might see that. You might see that that Blue Nova show up out there somewhere.
John.
And they have some other cars too.
John, I challenge you to estimate an ET for my Dart.
What?
It's a slant 6. It's got a 1-barrel carburetor, tiny exhaust, 3-speed transmission with 345 gear out back now. I know it's a slow car, but I have no idea what it will produce in an 1/8 mile. And I was just curious, like, what ET I am considering. It was like, in a 1/4 mile, I would think that car would run about 18 seconds. So what does that translate to in an 1/8 mile?
Yeah, I don't like those visors.
And 18 seconds is a very fast slant 6 that hasn't been built. So it's probably closer to a 19-second car. People always think they're faster than they are. Not
25 seconds.
Probably with the way I shift. I am not figured out this 3 on the tree yet. I'm very rough. It makes him crazy.
I'm sitting next to her. I'm going. I just want to grab the shifter and do it for her.
12-second car, John. You're probably. Actually, I think I would be impressed if it ran 12 second. What did my van run? My van was that's about the speed of my van.
I don't remember. All I know in a van is I helped you change tires from normal tires, little tiny tires, so you get lower gear ratio.
It's got to be quicker than my van. Maybe my van was more like.
But you had fun running the van down
seconds.
there. You know, it's just like something to do.
Well,
you're not going to win anything. It's just fun.
You to run the Dart because it'll be your first time ever. I want you to have something that you can go down track.
Timers in Sykeston shut off at 22 seconds.
Yeah, because of the mini bikes.
Oh, God, that's crazy. What is this? Oh, this got some girl in it. I don't want to show the pictures of the girls.
Woohoo! I want to see pictures of girls.
No, but they're just...
I like pictures of pretty girls.
Oh, jeez.
Who doesn't like it? You're telling me there's women out there in the world, in the real world, that when there's a picture of a pretty girl, dressed up nice, made up nice, pretty hair, fancy shoes, all the stuff done up, that a woman is like, I don't want to see a picture of a pretty girl. Come on.
I don't know.
Everybody likes pictures of pretty girls.
There are cars that have girls in the pictures, and they're posing with cars that are for sale, and I grab pictures of some of them because they're pretty neat cars, but then you got this stupid girl next to it, which kind of detracts from it.
That stupid girl's blocking my view of that car. Timmy's outrunning his roll cage now. He's got decisions to make. He's getting too... Who's getting too fast?
Well, that car.
Oh, his ET's too fast. But I mean, can he put a throttle stop on it or something, John? He wants to go fast.
Who's this?
Mike Yielding.
Ah, here's one I like. Of course, I like 59s, so.
Yeah, the rear is very, very neat. Something special.
I'm gonna have to take another cough drop here. My throat's I'm gonna start coughing.
Do you want to
I can
finish
tell.
up? We're 3.5 hours.
We're at 3.5.
Yeah,
I don't know. John just came in.
it is.
3.5. I don't know. It's up to you.
Are you guys enjoying? Like, we don't need to force you to stay here. If you're enjoying the stream, we'll keep going.
What are you gonna? I didn't get on. I didn't get on the
Ew. Do you want
throat soon enough.
to?
I didn't get on the throat soon enough. No, I'm okay. Huh.
5 second,
505.
8 mile. That's
Man.
fast. Yeah, you ought to have a cage in that car, anyways. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go that fast in a car that didn't have, like, you know,
Yeah, can you have me a paper towel? please?
harness and everything. Honestly, I don't think I would.
Clean paper.
I don't think I would want to go that fast anymore. It's not. I don't think I would want to do it anymore. It's not my goal in life to go that fast anymore. I just want to have fun. I want to build cars with care. Like, this car is so cool.
Like that. 59. Is it a Bel Air? It probably is. Let me zoom in on that. Does it say Bel Air? Or does it say Impala? Did they have Impalas in 59?
What's he putting floor pans in?
It says Impala on it. It says Impala on it.
Are you working on the Dart Sport, John? This is not the John I know who neglects his project for years at a time.
Floor pans. Oh my God.
Is that what he's doing?
Are you a welder, John? I didn't know you were a welder. Maybe you are. MIG weld them in there, tack, 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 or you TIG them in there, or what'd you do? Next video we want to see is that motor out of the Ford Ranger. You know what? Maybe we'll do a live when we
Okay.
pull that out. Yeah, it is an Impala. It sure is an Impala.
I mean, we're close.
Who is
to
it has the
having a motor.
Impala? It says Ray. Ray, what's his name? You know, 38 POS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's gonna make it real short, right?
Man, no.
No, that's I'm
No,
sorry.
he's the
That's
guy at No
fine.
Name National who shows up with the Impala that was painted, and he's buffed all the second paint job off it, so it's back to the original color. MIG welded some floors into a friend's. Into a 76 F100. That must have been fun.
Was it really, really rusty, John?
I love 59 Chevys and 60 Chevys. I don't like the frame under them, but I like the car, so it'd be, yeah, it's just a nice car, nice cruiser. And then 38 POS, Ray, he's got a 454 in his, so it gets with it. He said that thing at No Name Nationals every year. What are you looking at? I don't know what you're looking for.
I was looking for Racer Ray. John Wilburn said
Oh,
Racer Ray.
Raycr. Oh. Racer
Didn't
Ray.
come up.
Oh.
Didn't come up.
Mm-mm. Oh, the 59 Chevys and the 60 Chevys. Yeah, there's a lot of them that were lowriders. This is sort of a lowrider, but it's got big fat tires on it and everything. It's sitting a little lower than I'd probably like it, but the stance is okay. 38 POS, he brings his to No Name Nationals. I think it sits almost stock, and but that 454, man, it just looks like it belongs in there, you know.
That's right, Tim. He sold the Jack Pine car. Is he buying something else or
What's the
bringing
Jack
something
Pine?
else?
What's the Jack Pine car?
It was some kind of Mopar, but he sold it. It was probably worth more money than he could stand to drive around with. It is scary. At some point, your project becomes so valuable, you're like, whoa, I can't really afford
Oh, Racer Ray.
care and feeding.
Isn't that the guy with the 59? Okay, let's see here. Gonna miss Jack Pine. Okay, I got the passenger side was rotten into the jams. Oh no. And the bottom edge of the firewall. Did a cab mount on that side too. Driver's side had some rust. Kick panel, 50 years of wet floors. Man, John, you probably worked hard all day on that project. That's a big old project. At least it was a pickup and not a car.
Soak in some Epsom salts. It'll draw out the poisons and yeah. Oh, that sounds terrible. Rust is. Ugh.
Bigfoot Mark is building a blown Belvedere.
Okay, that's the guy with the Jack Pine car. He's building a blown Belvedere. Cool. Sometimes you just have to move on. Do something different. Keep on keeping on. Blake's new Duster. Is that Blake of who's those guys up there in Ohio who are working on oh gosh, call them out. Call out the names. Because I'm struggling, but I know who you mean, or I think I know who Blake is. And that they always did that stuff with oh God, why are no names coming? It's 3.5 hours into the stream and my brain is
shot.
There's no more. Names aren't coming, nothing. Pull to Biden.
Oh, I know what I gotta show. Where are the
Bad Tree. Thank you, John.
Oh yeah.
If you guys have never seen the content that Bad Tree Productions makes, somebody throw out a link to Bad Tree Productions. They're a lot of fun. Those guys have been with the No Name Nationals crew since things started out, and I think John Wilburn is, they've been a friend to John Wilburn, and I think they're good people. If you don't know them, you should check out their channel and give them a subscription. Look for the things that they're doing, because they are doing good things. I got brave about transmissions. They were doing transmission rebuilds, and I thought, I can do that. I don't need to be scared. They're what really gave me the courage to break into those transmissions, which I have a bunch of parts to rebuild transmission. We're going to do bench builds this winter, because right now I can do outside work a little bit, outside work, do different stuff. The property needs lots of maintenance in the summertime, so I have a bunch of bench builds. I might be doing a transmission on this desk, on this bench right here this winter, just because I don't want to go outside if it's too cold. And last year we were not prepared to be able to do some of the stuff.
I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for, Beck?
Who was it sent me all the rat rods? I bet I didn't put them on this drive. I bet they're on my laptop. I'll have to do it next week. Who was it sent me all the pictures of the rat rods? Oh, here you go.
I don't know, but they were saying there was a Ford I-beam suspension. It was oh man, it's all becoming a blur.
Yeah, because we've been on here.
We have. You know what? This is our fourth day in a row streaming.
Oh yeah, we streamed 4 days in a row now. Spittoons is velocity stacks. Oh, where was that? I already put that away. I'm sorry.
We talked about building a tunnel ram for the 2.9 liter engine.
Oh yeah, John missed that.
That's going to be fun. But see, that'll be off-roading adventure. That's something that the No Name National people don't generally get into. They're all about the hot rods. The off-road four-wheel drive thing is a whole different world of people and content creators that we may or may not be able to branch out into.
Here's, just so John can see it. Oops, that was a mistake.
Why is that?
Because it didn't do what I wanted it to. Now I can't grab it. Okay. Grab
it at the side.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is what we did last night on the
Wasn't
live.
John in there while we were pulling the cab off the Ranger? We're making good progress, John.
Got it done. I mean, where is it? You can see why it was safe.
I am
There's
ass
blocks.
whooping super bitch this week.
There's blocks under there. It was tied up to that A-frame thing, and it had jacks under it. So
Yeah,
I rock crawler.
I won't be bringing any all-wheel drive vehicle to nationals. I'm bringing my Mopar, but this project is going to be going, ongoing.
Yeah, John, there's the thing that Kim built to hold the body up so we can move the chassis forward a little bit.
I don't know why I'm not seeing any bad tree stuff come up. I got to click. Maybe I got unsubscribed from his channel.
Don't you hate that? All of a sudden you think, man, I haven't seen that in a while. You go there and you're not subscribed. I've had that happen. I gotta go, guys. Almost 4 hours is my
Mexican
limit.
Spec, you're not required to be here.
Thank you
appreciate
so much. Thank you so much for being here.
We'll see you again
And
soon.
maybe we'll see you, I don't know, one of the other impromptu lives or next Tuesday.
We appreciate you. We really do. Get some rest. Check out Mexican Spec on Instagram. I think everyone who's in here has already heard us say that a bunch of times. He facilitates the import of Mexican hot rods into the United States. We talk about it just about every week, so if you're here, you'll learn about Mexican Spec stuff.
Let's see. Yeah, my throat's starting to feel better.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
Kim, I think you're getting worn out. Do we have any ideas for? Yeah, we're 3 hours and 45 minutes. Do you have any ideas for dinner tonight, or are you done?
We've got our squash that we grew in our very own garden.
We can do that.
I was gonna cook those with that ground turkey that we have in the.
Ground turkey and squash. Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll put some seasoning in there, and we'll make some food.
Yeah, okay.
We got, and
Sometimes I don't like the whatever you say, and then when you make it, it's really good.
yeah.
So I'll just trust you. And then I make stuff too. I've made stuff and taken it to you, and you go, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah, we've been eating. We don't starve.
Yeah, we've been eating too much.
I did gain a couple pounds.
Have you? Yeah, I know I have. I gotta take it easy on the food. So squash and some turkey would probably be okay. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. So everybody, thanks for being here, and